And then you got hers up a little bit.
Or something else.
You can say vagina.
Vagina.
It's hard to rhyme a word like vagina. South Carolina.
Balls.
Calvin Klein kinda.
Yeah, we're good. And it wasn't.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm glad we did that.
Yeah. This is not going to work for me. There we go. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I guess
Did
I'm
our
still on a
dog,
bender because I'm certainly not blacking out tonight.
Yep. Tonight's not going to get drunk and ruin itself.
Yeah.
Cheers. Somebody has my pen.
Your pen?
I think
It's a G2
Oh, it's
Glide,
on the-
man. Those things are.
The penis mightier.
No, I have to keep track of what we drink.
I already got.
Oh.
Well,
Here,
I'll give you. This is what we have done before that round.
Do you guys have to pay for it after?
Yeah.
Don't
Before we forget, you should write your name down for me.
You don't know my
Ooh.
name, Pat.
No, because I need you to write it down so it's correct for me,
Fuck. I have 2 quarters left,
so it's not
and
wrong.
then I don't have your beer.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Got it.
Because I'm gonna type it in.
Got it.
Rombca.
Rombca.
I know.
Is that Polish?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's my married name.
Oh, okay. Fair.
My maiden name is like hella German.
And
Like
it
what?
is?
Hooperich.
Oh, yeah. That's
Oh, that's not that bad. My sister's married name is Bretternitz.
I thought your last.
We call her Mrs. Butternuts.
I literally thought for a second your name was hella German. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
No.
Everybody good?
I'm great, man. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Ready? Cool. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are recording here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of beautiful downtown Grayslake, Illinois. My name is Evan Rafferty. Sitting here with me is the man, the one, the only, Jay Clancy. And sitting next to him is Tiny Tank, Mr. Dr. Green Thumb himself, Patrick Whistler. And boys and girls, this is the 1,
2,
3,
4 Shots podcast.
And today we have a very special guest, Miss Jenn Rombca. Did I get it right?
That's it. Thank
First
you.
try, I did it. And oh my God, we are not prepared because we gotta do this. But
We were prepared and then we drank them.
We
Just to be
unprepared
clear.
ourselves, but
Yeah.
we're preparing ourselves again. It's good. It's.
Nobody's wanting here, is my point.
Don't let the listener worry.
This is what happens when you
We're-
take a couple weeks off.
Yeah, we're rusty.
All
You
good.
don't have
No, we're good.
and boys and girls, this is time for shot number 1. And today we are drinking Jameson because, like I said, all the cool bartenders pick Jameson.
Because she's a pro.
I am a
Cheers.
bro.
No offense to our other total pros who like weird shit.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten Malort yet, and I'm grateful. Right? Nobody's done Malort.
Oh my God, that would be atrocious.
Don't say it out loud.
It's gonna happen though. It's
You're
inevitable.
planting seeds. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I think that can really make me barf.
The crazy thing is, like, out of
I
all-
drank like a half of a chocolate milk once that was totally rotten, like curdled and nasty. Just chugged like a quart of it before I even know what was going on. Didn't throw up.
Usually I don't have to. Usually I don't have to
One
chew chocolate
table-
milk. This is
yeah.
weird.
1 tablespoon of Malort and I'm gonna barf.
Yeah.
It's just gonna happen. It's almost like it was made to make you barf. That's how bad
Do you
I
like
think it is.
grapefruit?
I do like grapefruit, and I like that it's
but
very
Malort's,
bitter.
and Malort's like grapefruit mixed with dirty gym socks.
Yeah,
It's wormwood,
it's a tire
Yeah.
fire in a
Is
bottle,
what it
man.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fucking.
so it tastes like. To me, it tastes very like piney.
yeah.
Like that's what
Yeah.
pine tart
Have you-
tastes like.
Have you ever seen the video? The guy, I think he's Jepson Malort's grandson or whatever. And
Oh, the fake commercial.
yeah,
Oh my
like
God, yes.
the Malort. I'll have another.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's like, oh, it's like getting picked on in the 4th grade.
Yeah.
And by
All
the
right.
end of it, he's just got puke all over him and everything.
What's the worst shot besides Malort?
Ooh.
For me, it's Rumpelmans.
See, like actually drinking it, Rumpleman's is pretty easy to drink.
Yeah, but
But
I have a
it's
flashback
blackout
every time I
juice.
drink it.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
It is
blackout juice.
100
First time,
100% blackout.
the first
juice.
time I
I
ever
had like 10
blacked out.
this week at least.
How many times did you black out?
Only like 3.
That's
That's a pretty good batting
That's
average,
pretty
man.
good,
That's a 3-to-1
It-
ratio right
yeah.
there.
You know, most schnapps are like light, like 25%.
Yeah, like-
And somehow
so, like-
Rumpelmans is like, fuck you, we're going
Like
to
McGillicuddy's.
extra
Like you
strength.
could do Dr. McGillicuddy's. That's like
Yeah,
what, 25%?
exactly.
I thought it was
Yeah.
like 22. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, anybody that's like, my drink is Rumplemints, I'm just like, oh my God, you just don't even remember getting home any night. Like,
Dude, Rumpelmints is like brushing your teeth too. Like everything you drink after it fucking tastes off
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
just
Mint.
like mint bombed your mouth.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about Jägermeister?
No.
I like it.
No?
It's just
You
You
too
can't do
Yeah.
I
Jaeger?
can't.
Oh, I
When I
love
was
Jaeger.
like 19, I had a Jaeger chiller in
the
my kitchen.
machines.
yeah.
I don't know where the fuck I got it from, but I had it, and it was the worst year of my life.
See,
I just constantly blacked out.
yeah.
I can't do
It's
it
like an
anymore.
episode of The Twilight Zone. Just you're
Yes.
haunted by this thing that you keep
Yes.
refilling with Jägermeister. It's
Yeah.
like, God damn it! Why
Like,
does this
why
keep
am I
happening?
doing this to myself?
Yeah.
I like herbal stuff like that. I do
fucking
like
love
it. It's
Jägermeister,
just-
man. It's so
Jaeger's-
underrated.
See, like
it's on the sweeter side.
I've
for
talked about
me.
that before. Like that college bar I worked at was like a Jaeger bar,
Yeah.
and so we would literally buy like $50,000-$60,000 worth of Jaeger at a time. So we got it so cheap, we were selling $2 Jaeger shots,
Yeah.
and that was just like what we did. I had a pint of Jaeger like poured down my throat one night. Like,
Ugh.
Yeah, you
fucking-
told us about that.
it's just
That's assault, brother.
like it's a good time. Like even to this day, when someone's like, "You want a Jaeger bomb?" I'm kind of like,
See,
"Fucking right, I do."
I don't want to bomb though. I don't
Ooh,
want to mix
I don't
it
know,
with
man.
fucking
I
Red Bull.
do
man.
like the Jaeger and Red Bull
It's-
a
it's-
lot. It's one of the. I wish I didn't.
It's
I
literally
feel
one of
good
those
about
speedball, dude.
myself, but-
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where you're like, "We're getting wild tonight. Like
Yeah.
tonight's gonna be good."
Yeah.
But
We were talking about Four Loko before the show and just the inherent unsafety of extreme amounts of caffeine and alcohol mixed together.
I should have.
I drank 3 of those one
You-
night when I was like 17. We call it the 12 Loco night. I wasn't that bad, but my buddy who drank 2 was. Smaller guy, obviously, you know. But yeah, that was a dangerous beverage to have around, you know.
The only time
Yeah.
I ever had a Four Loko, I was in town, like from Colorado, working at the fish like restaurant, and dude calls me up and he's like, "If you can get to the Sears Center in 45 minutes, I have an extra ticket to Tool for you." And I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" I just turn around. I'm like, "I'm leaving." Dude covered for me to close up. Jump in my car, drive over to the Sears Center. Didn't even have cash to pay for parking, so I go to the parking. They're like $20 cash only. I'm like, I literally don't have money. And this lady was just like, "All right, just get the fuck in there." Like I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Park next to my buddy. They got a J going. I fucking take 2 hits out of that. I'm like, "Anyone got a shot I can get?" And they're just like, "No, here." And they give me a Four Loko, and I just start fucking chugging it as we're walking in. And as soon as I get to like the front of the entrance, I'm like, "I'm gonna throw up," and I just fucking puke that orange shit up
Yeah.
everywhere.
That's so gross.
But all right, Jen, thank you very much for coming on and hanging out with us today.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for having me.
So let's just go right into it. Let's tell the people, who you are, what you do now, and then let's backtrack it and start from the very beginning of your industry journey.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Jen. I am a general manager of a restaurant group in Lake Bluff and Lake Forest. A total of 4 restaurants. So it's kind of chaotic. It's absolutely insane. But it's a lot of fun. I'm always like, adapting in the minute, and I never know where I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna do that day. So it's cool. It's fun.
You literally just like bounce around from each one to each one,
Yeah.
putting out fires wherever they pop up.
Yeah, exactly. I just like stalk the sales and the cameras all day, and then I like see what's happening at one bar, and it's like they're all like 7 minutes apart. So if one gets like fucked, then I could be there in like 7 minutes.
That's pretty
you
cool
know?
that you can do that. Yeah, you got a couple different places.
Friday night's got to be a nightmare for you, though.
Friday night is a fucking nightmare.
Friday, Saturday night. It's just
Yeah.
because they're all busy and everybody needs something, and
Yes.
you're just like,
Yeah.
getting pulled in 4 different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my owner will like call me, be like, I need you here. And then I'm 3 minutes away. He's like, where are you? 3 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know, like
Right.
it's nuts. But
It takes a different kind of person to do that. So I mean, shout out to you, man. That's
Thank you.
cool. I don't want that for myself, but somebody's got to do it. And you seem well adjusted enough. Like it doesn't seem like it's driven you totally crazy, but a little bit crazy.
No. I mean, yeah, but a good kind of crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always exciting
On your
when you're
toes
in
all the
it.
time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I like get home from work every night, and my husband's like, okay, what did you eat?
Yeah.
What fucked up shit happened at work today? You
Yeah,
know, like
right.
those are like the 2 things he always asks me. I'm like, oh, I'm glad you asked. Like,
I
blah,
had
blah,
7
blah,
French
blah.
fries and a lady shit herself.
Yes, exactly.
I think I just saw a new T-shirt coming out. Right? But I was gonna say it's got to be a little extra hard for you too, because like they're not all like the same concept. Like it's not like you're a GM of a Fridays or something like that.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Like so you kind of have to know how many places did you say you're running basically?
4.
4. So you have 4 different unique menus, drinks,
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah.
So that's got to run into some problems now.
Yeah. And then like, you know, ordering like the different liquor for the different bars or the different beers
So
for the different bars.
You're literally like you're not like a regional manager. You're like the GM for 4 different places. Like you don't have like a GM at each one of those places that you're kind of
Well, I have like mini managers,
right.
but I don't trust them. I mean, I do trust them to like deal with like day-to-day operational shit.
But not fully,
But-
right? Like you're
right.
still like
I don't trust them to bring in like the beer, or I don't trust them to like order food. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
Well,
that sort of thing.
So do you order everything for all those places too?
I have help in like the food department. I have to finalize everything to make sure they're not ordering like $2,000 worth of stuff on a
Right.
Tuesday. But I order all the liquor for all the bars and all the beer. I pick out, and we're very craft heavy, and it rotates a lot. So I have
Sure.
like, I mean, I have really good relationships with like Maplewood and Old Irving
Yeah.
and Phase 3 and, you know, all of those guys. So they make my job easier because I'll be like, this is fresh, this is new. And because I have 3 accounts with them, they're always really eager
Trying
to
to pump
give
it up,
me
yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
I
right.
want, you know? Like,
well, yeah, that's the cool. I mean, the cool thing about it too. It
Yeah.
can be tough to work sometimes with, but I mean, if you're buying their stuff, they're right there and
Yeah.
usually pretty helpful.
yeah,
but-
I mean, if like our distributor doesn't deliver a keg, I can call Old Irving and be like, hey, they didn't drop off my Beezer. Can you bring me Beezer? And the sales rep
it's a
will,
great beer, by the way.
I know it's one of my faves.
Delicious. Yeah.
But the sales rep will literally put it in his car and drive it from the city to me.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
cool.
but these are like relationships that I've cultivated because I know the importance of it, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously dealing with them for, a while and everything like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, when I first started, it was like I was just like a part-time bartender, like picking out random beers, and now I'm running an empire basically.
Yeah.
You know, and I have 3 accounts that take craft beer, so they're all really eager to be on
Yeah.
tap,
That's
especially like in the north suburbs, you know, because a lot of these breweries are in the city
Mhm.
and are really popular and well known there, so they're eager to get their stuff like out.
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
And especially when you start dealing with like distribution companies, like sometimes it's just like this is only Cook County. Like, sorry, Lake County, you're not getting it, or
Yeah.
DuPage County, or whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Like, or in order to get this, you have to have this on tap all year long.
Right. Yeah.
All right, well, hold on. Let's put a pin in that real quick, and let's go back to the beginning. Beginning.
The beginning.
The beginning.
Can't talk right. Beginnings. Beginning. All right. Go back to the beginning.
Sure.
What was your first job in the service industry?
I was a part-time bartender at a wonderful bar in Libertyville.
Do you not want to mention the name
I'm
of
sorry,
it?
wait, hold
I
on.
mean, I
Hold-
can
hold on.
say
I'm
it.
gonna- before we,
There are so many.
You're-
Which one?
no, I'm going to cut this part out right here.
All right.
Your grandparents didn't own Fontaine Blue, did they?
No. That was
Okay.
my neighbor's grandparents.
Okay, I was gonna say I knew someone over there. Owned that
Yeah,
place.
the
Okay.
Nallies.
That's who.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I live like blocks from it.
Yeah.
That's who lived blocks from you. When
That's
we
what
were
I'm saying.
growing
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
I remembered someone like that lived over there had it. All right,
Yeah.
we can cut all that out. So we'll literally just cut that part out. But yeah, let's go back to the beginning. What was like your like service industry job you ever had?
Yeah, so I worked at Downing's in Libertyville for 8 years. One of your previous guests, Kyle Cashman, trained me to be a bartender.
Oh my goodness.
That had to be
Jeez.
fun. Yeah.
Oh, the monkey's
I mean-
running the circus.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We
like to
He's
say that-
actually a really good
Kyle.
bartender. He's
I
a
mean,
really good bartender.
No, I love Kyle.
He's a party
I mean,
animal,
we're
but-
dear friends. But we go way back. Like even before I started working at Downing's, I was a Downing's regular since I was like 20 years old. Don't tell anyone.
Probably gotta cut that.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's
It's like
the
wasn't there?
statute of limitations.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
that's 16 years ago, not to age
Yeah.
me, but
So
yeah,
how old were you when you started working there?
I was 24.
24.
Yeah.
And what made you like decide to go into like bartending? Like did
Yeah. So I had like a full-time job.
Because you used to run a Vans, right?
Yeah. I worked at Vans for like
She
8
hooked me
years.
up. How about that?
Yeah, I did a lot for Vans. And then I would bartend at night, like 3 days a week.
So you were doing that and then working at Downing's.
Yes.
Or
Yeah. Working at Vans and Downing's at the same time.
keep saying that?
Saying Downing's is fine. It's just up to her to how deeply she wants to
Yeah.
talk shit about them before she feels like we need.
Well, I don't
to,
think anybody. I don't.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that bar.
as
I don't know.
long as there's nothing negative, we have to worry. You know.
I
You know
mean,
what
I'm
saying?
going to tell like funny stories.
You
but
might
I
want to
don't-
just say I worked at a place.
As long as the funny stories aren't like, haha, I was trafficking narcotics or something,
No,
you know, it's
never.
like, yeah.
No.
Then you
I
know,
think we're fine.
Then you
I
have to
think
worry
we're
about
fine.
it. The only
I
thing
don't
we have
think-
to worry about is if you say negative things and
No,
then you don't
no.
want people to know what it's about.
I mean, I'm just going
Do
to
you have a good relationship
and
with
then
the
we'll
business
keep
owner?
the
still?
shit talk.
Okay,
then we'll
so
keep
then it's
the
fine.
shit
Well, then you're
talk.
good.
Then it's
Yeah.
fine.
Then
Yeah.
you're good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you start working there.
Yeah.
24 years old.
I'm 24 years old.
Why'd you decide? Did you just need some extra cash
yeah,
or?
I like wanted to be like super self-sufficient. Like I've always worked a lot just because I like to have like money and be comfortable and like not want for anything. You know what I
Right,
mean?
sure.
Yeah.
So I've always like busted my ass. I've always had 2 jobs. It just this turn it became a bartending job.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of cool about this industry is like we always say like you can actually like raise a family on it, or like if you just need some extra fucking dough, like it's a great
Yeah.
way to live luxurious, sort of,
Yeah, yeah. It was like my full-time job paid like all of my bills, and then Downing's was like
Fun
let's-
money.
Yeah. Let's go out to dinner 4 nights a week or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like,
Yep. When I was 24, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
but all right. So how do you end up like working there, like getting into it like at 24? Like, was it just they asked you? Did you ask them?
Well, I'd already like been there all the time, and then they went through like this mass exodus of people, and then I just like approached the business owner one day, and I was like, "Hey, can I work like a couple days a week?" And he's like, "Yeah, just like start with Kyle." And I started with Kyle, and the rest is history.
Okay. And like when you're learning how to bartend there, like, are they being like, this is how you make a cosmopolitan? Or is it like,
No, it was like completely on the fly. So it's like this person orders like a Captain and Coke. You're like, or someone ordered like a Long Island on my 3rd shift, which is actually a nightmare.
I was gonna say that this is one of the topics I have down here. What's the first cocktail you learned how to make?
Yeah, well, a Long Island. was probably like my third shift. And Kyle, my first shift was like, oh, all the rail liquor is here, or is like in a square, right on the rail between two rails. Well, someone fucked it up and it was double gin and double vodka. And so I make this guy a Long Island that's literally double gin and double vodka with like, everything else in it. And he's like, this is the best Long Island I've ever had in my life. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like, I didn't even realize at first, right?
You just in your head, you're like, I'm really fucking good at this.
God damn, I'm like a natural.
What have
right?
these guys been doing? It's fucking, I'm fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and I like slid it to him, and he's like, wow, you have really pretty hands. I was like, ugh, this is like besides the point. How's the cocktail, And he's like, said it was great, and then he drinks it, and I go to make another one, and then I notice, right, that it's double gin and double vodka. I'm like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna make it the same way.
It. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Horrific.
Holy shit, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I could tell the difference between like
I was just about
double
mean,
gin,
it's-
double
I was literally
vodka, and
thinking in my
like
head.
white rum.
When was the
and
last time you
whatever.
had a Long Island?
Have you ever ordered one?
No, I don't think
I've
so.
never ordered one.
I tried to order one
There
at a
was-
wedding when I was 19, and the guy was like, no. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
Fair enough.
He did give me a beer, though.
There was a bar at U of I called Gullies, and it like had apartments above it, and it was only Gullies my freshman and sophomore year. But long story short, they let you in the bar if you were 19, which I was like immediately.
Yeah, it's like U of I, yeah.
And they had what they called Strong Island Night, and you got like a take-home 32-ounce mug.
Shut the fuck up.
A 32 and they were like $8. So it was like a total of 8 shots in a 32-ounce mug, which was mostly just full of ice, and then they put a squirt of Coke on the top.
I feel like college bars are just trying to kill kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the.
I wasn't showing an ID. I didn't have a 21 bracelet. I was just walking up to the bar and was already 240 pounds. So they just, and they're just serving me all these drinks all
He wouldn't
night.
have had time to be that if he wasn't 21.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember after like the 4th round, this guy's like, "This is for you," and he like only fills it halfway with ice and is just like go 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 go, and it's just like probably a 9 to 12 shot drink in the. And they were really good. You'd leave with just handfuls of logo mugs at the end of the night.
As a college kid, glasses are important.
Oh,
'cause
very important. And unbreakable ones are even more important.
I don't think I've ever actually like ordered a Long Island. Like I've drank them before, but that's usually like if it was a mistake or if like someone's like, "Oh, I don't have any money." I'm like, "Well, then you're not drinking this," Like, and then like take it back and like throw 2 straws in it and grab my bar back and be like, "All right, let's fucking pound this."
I don't
thing."
even know what's in it. It's like gin, vodka, rum, and something else, and then
Tequila.
tequila.
And triple sec.
And triple sec.
So it's you
See, because I think some people put peach schnapps instead of triple sec in it.
That's
No.
disgusting. Those bottles just look like. So like
Yeah.
so it's supposed to be your clears,
Yeah.
and then so you got triple sec or whatever your orange Cointreau, whatever the fuck it is you're gonna do, and then rum, gin, vodka. And I've like, there's been an argument: is it a Texas tea when you add tequila in?
Oh yeah,
Which-
true.
You know,
I know, but I mean, not saying much. My first Long Island was double gin, double vodka, but I always put tequila in my Long Islands.
so do I. I think it's just one of those things. Someone's like, "That's a Texas tea."
I feel
I'm
like the
"I don't
bartenders
fucking
just
know,
pick
dude."
up 2 bottles in each hand and go like this.
You look
and
at it and
that's the
pour
Long
Jack Fire
Island.
into it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I pour one at a time on purpose because I fucking hate making them. And I want the person to have to wait for the drink. I'm not hustling in any way, shape, or form if you
Yeah,
order a
it's
Long
just-
Island.
It's
no.
just
Just like garbage
one
people.
1,000.
I'm definitely,
Yeah.
I'm
to
definitely one of those
1,000.
persons that's like, take all 5 bottles at once.
Yeah,
Lift
me
them
too.
up.
I used to have someone at
You have
Downing's.
more flair than
No shit, right? Doesn't everybody?
I used to have someone at Downing's order Long Island shots.
What the fuck is that?
So you make it, you like build it in a tin, right? And then you just strain all the ice out of it and put it in like a rocks glass and they shoot it.
That's not good.
Horrific, right?
Oh.
Yeah, have they heard of a tampon soaked in vodka?
Might be faster or butt chugging,
Dude,
yeah.
it's totally faster. It's totally
Yeah.
faster.
But seriously, like, I mean, no matter how bad of an alcoholic you become, you should at least be able to go to a bar and like pretend that you can like order 2 or 3 normal person drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you're that's pretty bad. You're like, just pour straight liquor in a glass for me, please. 10
Yeah.
shots.
That's like the only reason to order that would be like, all right, I got to go break up this girl. Give me this, and then I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Okay, so
So practical.
Well, I mean, yeah, in that situation, absolutely, it's normal. Totally makes sense. Yeah, when you phrase it that way.
I didn't have time to go get a tampon, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's describe like where you worked at. Like some people, I mean, obviously everyone who's listening, but any new listeners might not know that the place you're working at. It's a towny bar, kind of like, you know, definitely a dive bar.
Yes, definitely a dive
Which we're
bar.
not shitting on dive bars. We are literally sitting in
No,
one right
it's
now.
literally my
Proud
favorite,
dive
one
bar.
of my favorite bars. I mean, I still go there. I still drink there.
Yeah.
You know, I love it.
I
It's
still
like
do.
it's
Yeah.
like my home, you know? It's like where I grew up.
For
if you
sure.
will.
I always go there when I don't know any better.
Yeah, I don't go before like 10 p.m.
Yeah, I
you
don't
know?
go there out of choice. I go there out of like, yeah, I
Necessity.
can't help it. I'm going there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And how long do you end up working at this place for?
8 years maybe?
You were there for 8 years.
Uh-huh.
Jesus. So let's talk about like.
It's like 24 and working at a bar years.
Oh, yeah, that's insane. Like,
That's all. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever worked at a place that long.
3 years was my record until recently. I broke 3 years at Light the Lamp. I'm
Wow.
past 3.
High
Look
five.
at you.
Look at this
That's
guy.
amazing.
Growing up.
What does that mean?
But so if you're at a place for 8 years, especially something like that where it's a local bar, like you're definitely going to develop like relationships with the staff, the
Yeah.
owners, and then customers, especially, right?
Yeah.
So explain to me like working at a place like that when you're coming in new and you don't know anybody, is it weird trying to get to know the regulars? Like did your trainer Cashman? 2090,
Yeah, how was that?
Did he explain to you like, hey, like these people are like our daytime crew, like our 4 to like 7 o'clock guys that come in?
Yeah. So we had like a daytime bartender that worked, like she opened and would work till like 7. And she has like a crew that just like follows her around. No matter where she works, if it's Downings or wherever else, they've followed her for many years.
Yeah.
And once like that 7 o'clock bartender got there, it clears out because no one wants to deal with us, right? They only want to talk to her.
Damn.
So that was like weird. And then like, you know, we had a big industry crowd, right? Because we were open late night and a lot of other restaurants down the strip were not. So we had a lot of industry, which was awesome.
Right. And that's kind of what I was saying.
Um,
Like I was getting to that point was like you have like, you know, your blue collar construction worker
Yeah.
guys that are there, you know, 3 to 7 or whatever.
Right.
You guys come in at 7. And then you get a little bit of like a dinner rush or whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, like with people that are in here from like 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And then you got that late night one that's
Yeah.
like, you know, 10, 11 till close.
Right.
And so you basically got 3 sets of regulars that you get to know.
Yeah. And I mean, like the daytime crowd is like probably the hardest because they're older and they are so set in their ways. They're very particular about like what they want and what they're drinking and the way that you present it to them. Like there's a woman that only drinks like Bud Light out of a wine glass. You know?
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like shit like that you have to like remember.
Does she want ice too, or
No. And she only pours it in like small portions.
Yeah, that's an old timer thing. The bottle of beer with a short glass, you pour a little
Yeah.
bit and drink a little bit at a time. I'm like, well, do you think the bottle is refrigerated? It's like
Yeah.
it's not going to keep it
It's gonna be
colder than when
piss
you
warm
pour
by
it.
the time you're done.
Yeah, like I don't understand thinking, well, I'll just have one sip. Well, you ordered the whole beer. You know,
That's
like
so
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
it's bizarre, man.
So it's like those things. And then like the industry crowd is like super cool and understanding because they've been there, right?
Yeah.
They just got done doing it. Yeah.
Right. And they like understand that like this is your first bar job. So they like coach you through it or like whatever if it's like a weird
Ooh,
drink.
unsolicited coaching through it though sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
That was probably annoying.
There was like one girl, she would get like Jameson neat all the time with a Coke bag. And I poured it, we had these exact glasses, and I poured it like to here. She's like, that's not enough. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, it is. The glasses where you work are smaller.
Yeah.
That's what's fucking
like,
going
fuck
on.
you know?
Or maybe you just overpour.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that was like weird. But like at the end of that, like some of those people, like when I got married, were like at my wedding and,
Yeah.
you know, like a Downing's regular officiated my wedding.
That's
like,
cool.
Very cool.
You know, like, so that place, like, I mean, we really went like through the fucking ringer,
Yeah.
but I love it.
Do you, like, so that obviously was where you fell in love with the service industry, right? I
Yeah,
mean, that's
for
like,
sure.
Yeah.
So I worked there for 8 years and then like got married, and my husband's like, I don't really think that you need to work 2 jobs. And I was like, yeah, totally. I get it. And
But
then,
yeah,
You were-
but
you
I'm
were- you were
gonna.
still working at Vans.
yeah.
Okay.
So I worked like a full-time job, dropped the bartending. So I took like maybe 6 months off before I got into the company that I'm in now.
Yeah. And how did you end up doing that? Like where was that transfer from?
Yeah, so right after the pandemic, it was probably like right after like everything opened back up, I got my real estate license and quit my full-time job,
Okay.
which I fucking hated. I did not like being a real estate agent at all.
Well, let's talk about that. I mean, why? Is there anything you can say about why, or it
I
just
mean,
wasn't
it's
for
just
you?
like it's just like a lot. Like it's like strictly commission, right? So you
Yeah.
have to like bust your ass every single day
Yeah.
and like,
To hope for something, right? I
Right,
mean, yeah, and then it
exactly.
doesn't even necessarily pan
Well,
out.
and like
Right.
things like real estate and like insurance or something like that is like to start, you fucking grind, and then basically
Yeah.
20 years later, because it just like builds up kind of
Right.
thing, you know?
yeah.
They're also like in real estate is kind of like you have to be like a certain kind of likable and know certain people and have it's just like these connections that are not it's like it seems like politics, you
Oh,
know
It
what
is
I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah,
It is.
possible.
Where it's like I don't like jobs like that. I like jobs where I just go to work and do work, and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to like vie for some sort of like, you know,
yeah,
I
like
don't know.
jockey
Right.
for
This-
yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
plus-
want to hustle in a way where it's like I have to change my personality to do
Yeah.
this job. You know what I'm saying?
And you have to like take them to like 100 houses before you like write a 20-page contract, and everyone has to agree to it. And it's like when I quit Vans, I had pink hair and I have a sleeve of tattoos. Like that is not what somebody trusts. You know what I mean?
Gotcha, yeah.
So it was, I don't know, it was fucking weird. I didn't like it. So I started bartending at this like little neighborhood bar in Lake Bluff, like 3 days a week. I knew the full-time bartender there from Downing's actually. And he like introduced me to that bar manager, and I like started there.
Nice. And so you start bartending there, and this
Yeah.
is like right after the pandemic, so like 2021, 22, something like that.
Yeah, 21.
And this is like the same place that you're running all these places for now, right?
Yeah.
So like how long were you bartending before you like moved into like what I like to say selling out and working for the man and becoming a manager?
So I was
What a nice, friendly question.
That's what I
selling
do.
out.
Anytime anyone asks me, they're like, oh, like your manager now. I'm like, yeah, I sold out. Sorry.
yeah,
I work for the man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I decided to make money.
Yeah, consistent money. And,
Yeah. So I probably bartended for like 6 months before it like evolved into what my boss calls team leader, because he
There you
hates
go.
the word manager.
I'm a
So-
lead officially.
You're a
Yeah.
team leader?
Yeah.
Is he like just like relinquishing too much power to you if he calls you manager? Is that the problem?
Well, he thinks that. Like,
Is it
people,
his ego?
First of all, yes. No, he doesn't.
I know
might
he's
have to
gonna
cut
listen,
this,
so I have to
yeah.
bust his balls a little bit.
I know. No, so he just felt like if you call somebody a manager, that they get like into their head and they're like, their ego goes and their head gets
Just
too
a
big.
clipboard pops into their hand.
Right,
and they-
exactly.
yeah.
And then they like are on their laptop all the time and not bartending or whatever. Right. So I was team leader for
Evan,
a
do you
long
feel
time.
attacked right now?
No, because
Okay.
that is exactly what I don't. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
the other way. No, I'll go bar.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the office ever.
No.
If
Which is
I'm-
great. Which
I
is
want to
great
be on
about
the
my
floor.
setup is like, I really don't have to do any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, and then like I just run the floor. So
Yeah.
like I love that. Like, like I was saying, Friday night, bar backing and bartending. Yesterday I was waiting tables and busting tables. Like I don't want to be doing.
I mean, I still do all of that stuff. It's
Yeah.
not like I just like sit on my laptop in an office.
No, but
I'm
yeah.
like,
Well, we weren't done shitting on you yet. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, we weren't saying that at all.
That's
It's
like
just,
the stuff I definitely do not want to do any of that.
yeah, I
right.
mean, I do.
But it
like,
has to be done. Yeah.
I do like some
Yeah.
of that shit, but like my favorite thing is like if our biggest bar is in the fucking weeds and we have 2 bartenders on a Friday night, my favorite thing is like jumping behind the bar
my
and
God,
then I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like in it, you know what I mean? And then I'm just
Yeah.
like making drinks and pumping shit out and checking tables. Like that's like my vibe. That's what I love.
And showing up your star bartender like, still
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Well, my star bartenders, they're all 24 years old.
Oh, fair
Oh,
enough.
Shit.
I've taught them everything they know, which is actually kind of cool because then between all the restaurants, they all make drinks my way,
That
Yeah.
must be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, at my old job, we used to. I don't fucking care
Yeah.
what you used to do at that place that closed. They closed, right?
Yeah.
So why did it close? Okay. So maybe we're not
Yeah.
going to do it that way, and we're going to do it this way.
Right,
Yeah?
exactly.
Tell us how you really feel, Jay.
I'm an open book, man.
That's hilarious.
I don't have any of those people at Light the Lamp now. Everybody's great. Everybody's wonderful. Just had to say that. Go ahead.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, right.
I just squeeze that one in there.
Just the lawyer talk at the end of the commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Way to cover your ass there. Maybe fucking forget where we even at. All right.
I think we
Um,
got to wrap up the first segment sometimes.
We were talking.
Well, yeah, we'll eventually get there.
So, yeah.
So,
It's just
Yeah, no,
38 minutes.
like
I'm
getting
fine
into
with
the
it.
management part of it. Did you like apply for that? Did they ask you how did that
Just like
conversation
fell into my lap.
like? All right, so explain it.
So we had a bar manager that was like an asshole. He was like hitting on like the 18-year-old girls and being like, hey, if
Really,
you...
a manager doing that?
No. He'd be like, hey, if you go to the dispensary and buy me a dab pen, then you can have off for Lollapalooza. And I'm like, oh, fuck you. You know?
What a weird transaction, man.
No, literally.
It's like
this
Oregon
happens.
Trail.
We,
You
we
Yes.
gotta, we
know,
gotta
like,
turn that into a meme.
Yeah.
I think that's
I'll give you
great.
80 pounds of deer meat for some butter. Yeah, that's like,
Yeah. Like, what the fuck is happening? So he gets fired, and then our full-time bartender gets fired, and then my owner is like, sorry, my founder. He likes to be called the founder. My founder.
What is this, Dune?
Literally.
Fuck.
So he was like, so do you want to work like 5 days a week? And I was like, yeah, I guess. And then he's like, okay, can you do the liquor orders? Okay, can you do the schedule? And then I was like fucking in charge, and that was it.
There was never like an actual like here's this position like
No.
I'm gonna give you this for this.
Yeah, and that like 3 months after that, I was like, "Fuck you! I'm not doing all this shit for $7.80 or whatever."
Yeah,
you know what I
tips,
mean?
Fuck that.
So he like bumped up my pay, and I still bartended and stuff because it was like a small bar, you know. And then he like,
He had a couple other places at the same time, right?
yeah. So he had a pizza place across the street, and then the little neighborhood bar, and then he bought into this brewery. So then I started helping him with that. And then he opened another bar in downtown Lake Forest, and I was like never supposed to go there. And he's like, 3 weeks before they open, he's like, "Hey, get your shift covered and meet me over here." And shit's rolled downhill ever since.
Yeah. And so it was just like kind of a gradual thing. The more he trusted you, the more he wanted
Yeah.
to give you. Or
Yeah, and now I'm like the whole right side of his body. Like, I don't know how he gets dressed without me. Probably his wife, who's a sweet baby angel. But
Yeah. Good friend of mine.
There you go. All right. And I think that is a great time to end segment 1 of this episode of the 4 Shots podcast. And that means it's time for shot number 2.
2 or 20.
How many shots are there?
Patrick.
Ooh.
That was good. You are funny.
I am?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
That was really good. That was really good.
Thank you.
I'm going to go burn one.
Yeah, I need a cigarette.
I saw
gonna-
See, people say that, but you'd actually be like vomiting. Trust me, your epiglottis knows what's the right tube.
I don't know what temperature.
It's an organ in your throat that's only purpose is to make sure food and liquid don't go into your lungs.
Yeah, idiot. I didn't fucking know that either, though.
Yeah, what the fuck? Thanks for fucking calling me out on that, Jay.
No, dude, I'm on the same team as you. It just seemed like that was the funniest thing I could have said in that scenario, so I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone laughed at me. That didn't make me feel good.
And then I opened up. And
Hey,
I said I
funny
didn't know
first,
either.
feelings later.
Yeah, man.
Don't forget it.
T-shirt number 2.
The Diary of Evan Rafferty tonight will read, if only I'd paid more attention in 7th grade science class, I would know what the what was it?
Epiglottis.
Epiglottis was, yeah. And my
You
diary.
didn't remember that? Dumbass.
Yeah, see?
No, that's what I said.
Ha ha ha.
I don't need your big fucking ass. Don't give me your big ass.
Oh, man. We're leaving all this in, fuckers.
Sorry, Evan. You've been very nice to me, and I had no right to insult you for not knowing about the mighty epiglottis.
It's important, all right?
It's a good punk band.
Yeah, the mighty. Yeah, move over, mighty, mighty boss tones. It's the mighty epiglottis.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for segment 2 of this episode of the 4 Shots podcast. We are still here at Charlie's Tavern in downtown Grayslake, Illinois. We are visiting with Jenn Rombca. Every time I remember her name, I'm fucking pretty impressed.
Did he get it right though?
He did.
Okay.
He did.
Steel trap.
All right. We haven't even talked about this. How was everyone's weekend?
Good.
Yeah. Are you busy?
Yeah. Saturday night was insane.
Yeah. Were you just like busy at one spot, or were you bouncing around from like place to place?
I was in one spot, like
Yeah.
our biggest bar. It was just like every table full, whole bar full. We have sidewalk seating, we have courtyard seating, everything full.
What would be your capacity on that?
Okay, now I have to do math. So inside it's like 120. Then we have 4 tables of 4 outside, so that's another 16, and then we have 10 tables of 4 outside. So 120, 160,
You're like at
176,
180,
180.
76,
Yeah.
if you want to be exact. Yeah, good for you.
That's a
That was
lot.
quick math.
That's a
Yeah.
lot. in Lake Forest.
I'm fast at math, and you got that before I do. That's a pretty big place, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, in Lake Forest, like, a lot of the places are like hot dog stand, seats 5. like it's tiny. Like, everything there is tiny.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know the capacity here?
Yeah,
You're supposed to.
I do,
Yeah.
but it's not as much as you would think.
Wait,
What is
there's
it?
got to be a wall sign over here. Hold on.
No, I would think it's actually pretty small in here. 'Cause they do.
No, that's not the wall sign.
A lot of it's like based on bathrooms, even.
Right.
Yeah. So what is it here?
Well, there's a different liquor license for this bar because it's been operating for so long. So there's some stuff that's supposedly grandfathered in. There's a lot that I don't know, and there's a lot of questions I don't ask. But like Gray's Lake days for sure. Like we're over capacity. every time.
I didn't ask you to incriminate yourself. I simply asked you.
It's not me, dude.
What's the capacity for this place?
I thought it was like roughly 80.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty dead on, actually. I think that the capacity for only 2 bathrooms is actually way higher than it should be, because I go to a lot of places that are
Yeah, for
super
sure.
Waiting in
under
line,
You have to
bathroom.
wait to pee.
Yeah.
Super under bathroom, especially like festivals and stuff. They have like 900
You're
people.
still,
And they have like
you're still mad about that Lake County Beer Fest we went to.
no, okay. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
That did suck.
yeah,
The bathroom line, yeah.
yeah. They're just. It's like the bathroom line can only get so bad before you're telling
Right.
men to just.
Well, you
be
guys
outside.
could have just been like me and gone thrown up outside the place instead.
Yeah, but
Yeah, and
that's
then
not
you
piss.
throw everything up. You don't even need to pee.
True.
It was funny though that there were like so many, like while we're standing in this like 50-person line for the one restroom, there's like all these women walking by, like, see, like see how it feels, like, because the women's
Yeah.
restroom line is always
Yep.
longer,
Yeah.
and at a
Always
beer
a
fest,
line.
it's a script flip,
You guys are outnumbering the ladies like 10-1,
Yeah,
All right. Anyone else have an interesting weekend?
yeah, dude. This weekend was fucking nuts, man.
Oh yeah. We got to get into this real quick.
Sure, yeah. All right.
I don't know. Did I tell you about this yesterday?
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
I think I purposely did it. Go ahead. How was your Friday night?
My Friday night, right. So it was chaos at work, but the fun didn't start until after I got off work, right? I came here to this bar for a beverage, which turned into 2 or 3, whatever. There's this,
Which is, really 4 to 5.
thank you. Yeah. No, but there's this guy was here, and he's sort of been told he's not super welcome here before, and that he has to behave himself if he were to return. And he's being weird. At one point, he said something to a lady that was here to the effect of like, I would love to make you into a lampshade, which is not something that you say to somebody, right? But like, I'm not on the clock, right? So I hear this and I'm like, okay, is he gone? They're like, well, let him finish his drink and then we'll get him out of here or whatever. Well, now he doesn't want to drink anymore. Now he's just sitting there being weird to everybody. And he said to me and another guy I work with at Light the Lamp, Sean, he says, I want one of you guys to punch me in the face right now.
Oh, God.
And we're no, I thought about it.
So all your dreams came true this weekend.
Yeah. Right. No. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And Brendan's like, oh yeah, I'll do it. I'd love to do it, but we got to go outside. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll be like, wait.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
It's going
It
to
was
punch
like-
this guy in the face.
Everybody here wanted to,
Cancel it.
but it was just, yeah, we can believe something. Everybody here wanted to punch him in the face. It was just like, it wouldn't have been a fair fight in any way, shape, or form. Like he was an idiot, right? So then bar closes, he's walking out, and he walks past this guy who's a regular of this bar and other bars in town. Great dude, but not the kind of guy that you would put your finger into his butt. And that's what the guy did. He puts his finger in the guy's butt. The guy's sitting at the bar, and he just, and then the guy turns around like, what the fuck was that? I mean, he wasn't sober, but the guy turns around like, what the fuck was that? And the guy was like, yeah. And like, okay, all right. So that's happening. So then I had to escort the weird poop finger guy out the front door, which was not my favorite thing that I ever did.
Was he pointing at you at the time?
No,
I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
get that finger out of here.
I think
Get that finger
I think
out
at one point I said, like, put your hands behind your back. Like, you're not arrested. I don't have the authority to do that, but I just don't want him anywhere near me because I know what you just. Yeah, right.
Citizens arrest.
Yeah,
Give him some
something
hand
like. Yeah, but
sanitizer,
then I would have to cuff him, and I don't want to be anywhere near the hands. No,
Starts
yeah.
poking you in
So-
the chest. You're just like, oh, fuck.
So then, and this has happened at this bar multiple times. The funny thing is,
Wait.
Wait.
not this exact
Wait,
thing.
wait,
What
the
I'm
butt
going, what I'm,
finger?
no,
You're saying the butt
no,
finger has happened
no,
here multiple
no.
times, the
What I'm
butt
leading
finger?
up to is so one guy goes out the front door, one guy goes out the back door, and then the expectation is that the problem's over.
Oh,
but this
no,
isn't
yeah,
that big of a
yeah.
building.
People
so,
know how to do that.
So I'm outside
I
with
run
the guy.
into that problem all the
I'm
time.
I'm outside with the guy, and like I'm trying to get him to leave, right? And he lives just across the tracks, So a fucking freight train rolls through, right? And I'm like, God damn it, this is the worst timing ever. God damn it! And so next
That's
thing I know,
hilarious.
I'm out there smoking a cigarette, like kind of trying to like not buddies with the guy, but like trying to talk him down from whatever was going on in his head.
I would be like, get the fuck out of here. This guy's coming to kick the shit out of you.
Well, and that's what happened. Yeah, the guy comes around from the back, and next thing I know, I look outside, and one of the owners of the bar is like, "Get inside," and I was like, I can." He's like, "Just get the fuck inside." I was like, "Okay," so I do, and guy's in a headlock, and there's like a shorter fellow that hangs out here, who's like trying to break up the fight. But what happened was he gets in the middle of him and gets shoved into the creepy guy. So now he's just hugging him, and they're both getting punched because the other guy can't remember who he's mad at. It's just alternating. Dude, yeah. Cops showed up and everything. They like asked like what happened, and like we were honest. We were like, for once, the guy that did the punching was in the right, like it was a weird
this
situation.
guy stuck his finger in his butt.
like what do you think is gonna happen?
Right. No, he wanted, like I said, he wanted to get punched in the face that night. That's
Talking about like being in the wrong guy, like if you're trying to break a fight up and you end up in the middle of it. That happened to me when I was working one night, and a dog pile just ends up happening, and it's literally like me on top of like these two dudes who were getting beat up, and like the four dudes that were beating those two dudes up like on top of me, and I'm literally like, so and so security, like I work here, and these dudes are literally like punching around me to hit the guys behind them, and I'm just like, fuck, like just don't hit me in the face. And the next thing I know, like one of my bouncers just fucking grabs my leg and like just yanks me out of this fucking dog pile. But even those guys were assholes for like beating those two dudes up, like they literally made sure not to hit me. Like I could see the one guy was like squaring up, and I went like this, and he like hit on the other side. I'm like, oh, thank you, dude. Like,
I mean, getting in between a fight in the first place is super risky.
Don't do
but
it.
I mean, if it's your place of business and you have to do it, I mean,
it's just
honestly at this point in my life, I'm just like, let them fight in the street.
Nah, it's you gotta just get to it before it even gets to that point.
Yeah,
nowadays.
exactly. But this thing happened so fast, man. It wasn't like they had beef all night, or they weren't angry at each other all night. It just one thing happened, and it was a really fucking weird thing, to happen. And then
there's no predicting the random butt finger.
Well, right. I'm not gonna lie, like. I think his reaction was fucking justified.
Absolutely appropriate.
I would have lost my shit.
I hate to advocate for violence, but in that situation, I didn't mean to say butt the way I said butt. I mean, I would not have been. Yeah,
it makes me laugh so much when I hear it like from third party. It's hard to imagine being that mad about it, but you know what I'm saying, like. Because I'd like to think I'd just laugh as hard as I would hearing about it, but
if I was just chilling,
we actually put a finger
there was
in
no
my butt.
laughter when that happened. It was nobody thought it was.
Wait,
it
but
was
he
very
just
serious.
I don't like when people I don't know touch me.
You're right.
This was like through the shorts, right? Like this guy didn't get slip by some and get like an actual skin on skin
man.
butt. Oh, that matters.
I
a
believe
lot.
it was down shorts.
Oh.
Wait, he put his hand in this guy's pants and actually.
I
Because it's
believe
like
so. There's a
condom
lot we
versus
don't know.
non-condom fucking in a way. Like, are there chinos in between this finger and this butthole or not? That's
There
a
might have
big
been.
difference.
At
in
any
the
rate,
story.
he touched the guy's butt, and the guy didn't want his
my
butt to be
God.
touched. So that was like that
Supposedly.
was fucking assault.
Supposedly.
No, he for sure did not.
And I think we have to say supposedly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I mean, as far as like the legal
Apparently.
proceedings, I have no bearing on that, and everything that I'm saying is hearsay, so I can't be.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
It's all hearsay.
Yeah.
There might have
Supposedly.
been no butt fingers.
There may not.
Possibly.
Well, yeah, you're right. There may not have, but yeah, dude, it was like one of those
there
things
was
where we're
butt
just all
finger.
sitting here like, what the fuck just happened? Like, you expect the end of the bar night to be kicking people out who don't want to leave, and you have to explain to them that they have to leave, and they're like, well, I gotta get an Uber, and you're like, well, it's 75 degrees outside. What a nice time to sit and wait for an Uber.
for
You're not
real.
doing it in here. Yeah, but then that happened, and it's just like, whoa, okay. We have to add that to the thing, to the list of things to be worried about happening. I mean, like, when you see like a sign that's obviously made for one guy who did something fucked up. It's like, no, don't put fingers in anybody else's butt here.
Yeah.
At last call or any other time. Yeah, like it's just like I guess there was no rule against it, but there's like the human decency.
Unless specifically asked.
Yeah, right. And then do it somewhere else. Like that it's not a public place, it's a private business, but still it's not that kind of private business, you know? Like keep your hands to yourself, I guess would have worked. Yeah. But okay, so yeah, that was my Friday. Okay. And then no, Saturday and Sunday were just busy. There's nothing cool there.
Yeah. I've just been on a bender.
Nice.
I went to the
They're
bar.
fun, dude. They
Had a
hurt.
lot of drinks. Went to another bar and had some drinks.
Sounds like a bender.
You know. Drank some at home. Now I'm drinking here. You know. It's
Living the dream.
4-day bender. It's pretty standard.
Yeah, 4 days isn't too bad.
They happen maybe once a month.
I feel like you got to be 4 days to be a bender.
Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just
a good time.
Otherwise it's just a long weekend.
Long weekend.
It's
because
like
it was like party, good time, long weekend.
That's not even really a long weekend. Like, doesn't everyone drink Friday, Saturday, Sunday? That's like not even a long. That's a standard weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe a bender needs to be 5 days. Maybe I need to drink tomorrow.
Yeah.
Jay,
I'm unsure.
If you want a Jay Clancy, and I'll tell you how to do it. Yeah. So first and foremost, eat
just look
before
at the
you
calendar
drink.
and he's like,
Otherwise,
flipping the pages.
It becomes more than a bender. Yeah.
What's
The
more than a
lifestyle.
bender, though? A lifestyle?
Alcoholism. Yeah. And drink water. You're drinking water, so you're doing fine.
If I have one water for every 5 drinks, I'm not drunk. That's
Right.
the rule.
Exactly. That's what I always say. Yeah. If anybody's listening at home and is struggling with alcohol consumption issues, hit pause.
Stop listening.
And and
this might not be the podcast.
yeah, and go watch or listen to something else.
All right.
Disclaimer.
Let's keep it. Keep this ship somewhere in the water. Not on course, but in the water.
R.I.P. to the dead billionaires. The Titanic just added to its body count.
Maybe too soon.
All right, do you see
Might
the
be
meme?
too
It's like
soon.
billionaires are good people deep down.
Yeah. I do feel bad
You know
for the
what's funny?
19-year-old kid who didn't want to go on that trip. I feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for the guy who owned the submarine who said that safety was a waste.
What about the kid that went to the Blink 182 show?
That's
That was
fucking
like the
hilarious.
stepson
Yeah, that's
of
That's
the
hilarious,
billionaire,
man.
He's like, well, my dad doesn't care about me, so I'm going to
Yeah.
Blink 182.
That's
And
his
this is
coping
like-
he's
mechanism.
And the
dead.
reason he doesn't care about me is why I listen to Blink 182.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear he also
The
got-
kids aren't all
They
right.
know
Oh,
my-
that's the
that's-
offspring.
He was also
God damn it.
commenting on like somebody's
Stay together
Twitter
for the kids is what I'm
of like
saying.
some girl,
So-
like some pretty girl.
Yeah,
"You
yeah.
spit on my
He
face
he
or
got caught in a
something."
thirst trap. Yeah, yeah, on
he asked an
OnlyFans.
Instagram
Like
model
while
to
his
sit on his
stepdad
face.
is potentially running out of oxygen, he's just like, yeah, show me how those big tits fart.
We might actually have to cut this all.
No, we don't.
I think it's great.
No, we don't. Adult content.
We'll
Check
listen
the
to it a
box and we're
different day.
Okay, let's keep it
Yeah.
moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's stay on track.
The hubris
Yeah,
aspect,
let's
though,
stay on track.
is so great.
It's
Like,
amazing.
I'm
You
gonna
know what?
pay
If they were-
$250
If 3 minors died or 5 minors died anywhere in the world, you would not even fucking hear about it. But
Right.
because they're billionaires, it's like, oh, billionaires, Titanic, and it's like romantic, and it's like, oh.
They
and it's
spent
like,
more for a ticket than that submarine probably cost to build.
Dude, people die
He
like this
fucking
pouring concrete like,
MacGyvered
every
that.
weekend.
Yeah,
and
it
it's
wasn't
like
like
nothing.
controlled by like a PS3 controller.
Yeah. And did you see the meme with the controller offline, like batteries dead, like how an Xbox? Yeah.
That's not funny.
Yes. Well, okay.
It is.
No, it's not.
R.I.P.
But yes, it is.
All right. Well, Jen, let's talk about Ed's blood on the bone.
Oh shit.
What do you guys have to say about that one?
I don't know.
Sounds
Ed's
kinky.
probably not a billionaire, so I'm sad that he got hurt. Billionaires aren't people.
No. So before I even started working at Downing's, it was like before like Tommy's was open or like anything in downtown Libertyville was open. everyone from like Fat Man's and Gurney used to come to Downing's like late night, which is like really
Okay.
weird and random. But it was like the douchiest crew of dudes that would come in, like on crotch
Are
rockets.
you talking
and
about like
fucking-
people that work there, or like the regulars from one
No,
went to the other?
Yes,
Like that was their
exactly.
normal
Yeah,
track?
yeah.
A lot of Affliction t-shirts.
Yes.
Ed Hardy.
Yes.
Oh.
This was the era. Yeah. And a fight broke out, and our owner was there, and his head got like slammed into the bar
Oh God.
because he tried to break up this fight. And I had to clean up his blood on the bar,
Yeah.
which is like fucked up.
Did he have to like? Was there an ambulance involved?
No.
Yeah. Should there have been?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming this guy, old guy,
Yeah.
gonna do it himself. I don't need an ambulance.
Yeah.
Put one like a dirty bar rag on his head, and was like, "It'll be
100%.
fine."
Just
yeah,
duct taped it around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, anybody have any super glue?
He's like, let's just get this cleaned up and get out of here.
Super glue and duct tape fix a lot of things.
Super glue was
I gotta
invented
tell you,
to heal
super
wounds. man.
glue is basically what they use to
For
do
surgery,
the non-stitch
yeah.
stuff when
Yeah.
you go to the hospital,
Right.
and
It's what it was invented for.
Yeah.
it
so
smells
does,
good.
So does
I'm
And the
just
more you
saying,
smell
it's
it, the more you like it. Yeah.
You don't need a Band-Aid, and it smells good. That's. I'm just saying. If you
Okay,
get a
so I know
cut,
you have several
try
hobbies,
Super Glue.
but I'm going to ask if you have another one that I didn't know about. Do you huff?
no huffing. Just
Just
sometimes the Sharpies and the paint pens and the
you're just
the
sitting
liquid
and, like,
bandage smells
listening
good.
to
That's all
incense
I'm
and
saying.
peppermints just with a bottle
smells
of white
good.
out. Like, I just
good,
like how
a
it
Belgian
smells.
beer.
I like how it smells. This isn't a. I can stop anytime I want. Yeah.
Now, when I first started barbacking, though, that was literally, it was one of my first nights. They're like, jump back behind the bar. This guy just cut himself. I'm like, all right, cool. Jump back behind the bar, grab these 2 glasses, go in. As soon as I put them in, all my fingertips split open, cut. There's 2 broken pint glasses in the sink.
Fuck.
That's how the dude just cut himself. They didn't tell me, hey, there's 2 broken glasses in there. Watch out. They just go,
my God.
jump back here. This guy just cut himself. I do the exact same fucking thing he does. I'm back there, just every fingertip, thumb bleeding.
Oh God, dude.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? What are we gonna do? And I've been cooking before and everything like that. I've seen like cuts and stuff like that. And the kid just goes, here's some super glue, and
Yeah.
you put like a thing of duct tape around it, and you're back out there looking like fucking Edward Scissorhands with just like fucking gray
Oh my
gray
God.
fingertips for the rest of the night.
You just hold it above your head for 5 minutes so it's not gushing blood, and then you like wrap something around
Yeah.
it. And then,
I mean, the super glue, like the bitch was when you get home, and like the duct tape actually isn't too bad, like to get around like.
But
your
then you
finger.
rip it
But where
off
it's super
and it
glue
opens up
because,
again.
Like it super glues the tape to your finger
Ugh.
because you're in such a hurry. You don't like let
yeah.
it dry, so
Yeah.
you literally have to like either rip that or just like I would go into like the bath
ugh,
or the
I'm having
shower
less fun
with
now.
like this
We'll get
piece
back
of
there.
fucking like duct tape stuck to my fingertips, but then like it's like hanging 6 inches, so I'm like coming in like this, like like I'm a fucking puppet master with like these gray strings hanging, and I have to go in the like tub or shower
Daddy, do you
until they
want some
fall off.
sausages?
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
What the fuck is that from?
Freddie
Your
got
fucking finger,
Freddie
yeah.
got fingered.
Oh,
Tom
yeah,
Green,
never
what
seen it.
happened to you, buddy?
It's
Never
so
seen it.
funny.
What did happen to him?
He went to a party dressed as a Nazi, and people didn't like that.
Oh,
he's
is that what
canceled.
happened? I thought it was like the whole feel your balls thing, and people
No.
were like, you can't joke about cancer.
No, I'm pretty sure he.
Oh yeah, I
I'm pretty
forgot
sure he
about
went
that.
to like a bar mitzvah, like dressed as a Nazi.
I have
And
a
there
secondhand
he's like-
Tom Green story. My buddy went to see Tom Green like probably over 10 years ago.
Supposedly he did that.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
And then like after the show, like yeah, he was funny. They go to Wendy's to eat, and Tom Green's just sitting by himself at a table at Wendy's, and they're like, "Oh fuck, you're Tom Green." And he's like, "Yeah, like we were just at your show," and he was like, "Thanks." And then like they hung out with him for the night, which was cool, but like also they said really sad.
Yeah.
Dude, that show was hilarious. Like the Slutmobile and stuff like that.
Did you ever see
Yeah.
the Gentleman thing? Where somebody like he would have like you could call into his show and request that he did anything, and he was just like, "Will." So somebody was like, put an entire pack of cigarettes in your mouth and light them, and then say "Gentleman" while you're, and he did it.
Pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah, depending on how you think about it.
All right,
Yeah, sorry.
let's get back to it.
Sorry, Tom Green.
Here's one thing I'm kind of interested in knowing about, like your experience is.
Yeah.
You were working at Pugs and everything, and then you ended up kind of taking over and becoming the manager.
Yeah.
And so you obviously worked with people that are now kind of your subordinates and everything like that. Did you like find it to be a problem, like when you kind of took over into a management spot, like people that you were friends with that you were kind of now in charge of or ahead of, boss of? Like, what? Any conflicts arise from that situation?
Really the only one, because a lot of it at the smaller bar, we had like a lot of servers that were like 18, 19 years old. So they already kind of looked at me like I was their boss.
Right.
I had a bartender that started the same time I started, like maybe a week apart. And she still works for me. But she's always looked at me like I was her boss. The biggest thing though is like the cooks. The cooks, like if I'm like telling them what to do, there's like two, like one of them that is like, he still calls me his bartender, and I like want to motherfuck him all the time. Like, fuck you, you know?
Right.
Just
because of the term, like the.
Well, it's first of all, I love being a bartender, and if I tomorrow lost
but the
my
saying
job,
his bartender thing,
right?
Yeah.
Like his bartender.
As if there's right.
It's like putting a fucking.
But
knife
and
in
if
my
you called him your cook, that probably wouldn't go over
no,
very well,
he
right?
would like knife me.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you mean stab?
I like to say knife.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot you can do with a knife, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not just stab. You can slash.
Yeah.
You can jab.
Yeah.
Yeah, poke
Scrape.
it.
Yeah.
Scrape.
Yeah, I like to say knife. That's how I
Okay.
like threaten people. So I'm gonna knife you. You know.
And then they don't know
Trying
if you're going to
imagine
poke, stab,
Right,
slash,
exactly.
or scrape. The
about-
element
Yeah.
of surprise.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what about you? Like when you went into like manager, shift leader, whatever you want to call it, over.
At Light the Lamp?
Yeah.
I applied for that job, but then I started the day before COVID. Like the COVID shutdown. Not the day before COVID, but the like March 16th of 2020. And I applied to be a bar manager, and they were like, "Yeah, absolutely." And a couple weeks go by, I start there. I had to finish out my 2 weeks at Center Cut
Okay.
because like I'm.
Okay, so you went into that position though as like you didn't start as like a bartender.
That was the idea. No, I did have to be. I was a server and bartender first because they couldn't make any promotions for anybody. Just because COVID made everything so unclear about what was going to happen, how things were going to be done. So I put in a year as a bartender server there, and then they were like, "Yep, all right, like this is yours if you want."
Did you end up like running into problems with that? Like people being like, you're my friend, you're my equal. A week
So many
ago.
problems with that. Yeah, it's so different. Like I have this thought all the time. Like when I worked at Center Cut as just a waiter or server, whatever. I was friends with everybody there, and then once you take that step up, sometimes like I don't know, it's just different. And I like to think I have a good relationship with everybody there, but it's different, And like I get irritated with them, they get irritated with me. It's different than being like on the same exact plane. You know what I mean? It's I try to do it the way that I would do it, or the way that I would want it to be done if it was somebody else. You know what I mean? Like for the server. Like
Yeah.
I try to I think about that all the time. But then there's other stuff that I know now that I didn't know before that I'm like, it's you can't make everybody happy all the time, and that sucks. And this is work. You know what I mean? It has been tough, to be honest, but you just figure it out.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
either it works or you leave, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't left yet, so I think it's working. Fuck.
Sorry to get deep on you there, buddy.
It's not deep, man. It's not deep. Well, it is kind of, but like I don't know. It's a different aspect to like in this industry. Everybody thinks like management or leadership is a promotion, just like in any other industry. But it isn't always. It isn't always.
Like
A lot of managers make less money than their bartenders.
Yeah.
Their bartenders than the bartenders that they work with.
100%.
Yeah.
You get stuck in a more responsibility, less dollars per hour situation really easily
If I was-
moving into
yeah.
management.
And if I was doing this 30 years ago, it'd be different. But
because
cell
they cap
phones,
what they pay you,
yeah,
and then like if it's busy out the ass, everyone else is making money hand over fist.
Right.
You don't benefit at all from being extra busy,
Right.
and that's really
Well-
frustrating because like
That's not true because like you could like there are places that do, your bonuses are based out on revenue or profit or just net
those places are
sales and
rare
stuff.
though.
I mean, not really. Like if you go to Let Us Entertain You, if you're an assistant manager,
Okay,
Let Us
sure.
Entertain You, like
They
you will
also
get a like profit share.
Mass fired like a disgustingly large amount of people less than 2 years ago.
But it's also
Um,
like I don't think like if you, I don't know, you get like the guaranteed side of it, like
Well, yeah, it's like nice to know that whether it's, it could be like -3 degrees outside, I'm still bringing home the same money.
Right.
And
And being able
like,
to build your own schedule is a huge plus
Right.
too.
it's also easy to think of just the best bartenders and servers are working on the best nights and forget there's ones working Tuesday and making nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Like a Tuesday lunch.
Yeah,
I would
and they're
slit
like,
my wrist.
yeah, and they're like, they made like they worked really hard, and made like $15 an hour. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
but that's like the game though. It's like at least like I know I have consistent pay, and like 1 week, like maybe my bar manager at this restaurant makes $100 more than me, but I didn't have to work till 3 a.m,
Right.
or I didn't have to put the order away, or I didn't have to walk 20,000 steps. I mean, I'm willing to do all of that. Like I'm the type of manager that like if I'm not willing to do it myself, then I'm not going to ask anybody else to do it. You know what I mean?
That's the way to be, and good for you.
I mean, during blackout Wednesday, Friday, that whole week, I cleaned up puke like 6 times
Yeah.
because I didn't want anybody else to.
I think I
You
might
know
have
what I
already told
mean?
this story on the show in a different episode.
I would have
but
thrown up. So
I had,
can't do it.
Throw
Like,
up on the throw up?
yeah,
a guy yacked in the urinal, and I
almost happened Saturday.
I told the busser, I was like, hey, somebody just threw up in the urinal. I can take care of it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And he was like, and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to ask a 17-year-old kid to do that. Like, I've already been broken down
You
by
don't
this
ask
industry.
him to do it, you tell
Yes.
him to do it.
No, you fucking don't.
See, for
No,
me,
I
at
He
mean-
work-
has some of his innocence left. I've already been completely
we're
destroyed by this
We're
industry.
jaded.
It's already made me hate people.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but yeah. So I can fucking do it. And
I'm
so
like goddamn fucking.
and so then I go to do it, and I walk in there with, I'm all gloved up, double gloved. I'm ready to clean up some barf, and then a guy at one of my tables was standing waiting for the stall, and I was like, I'm not going to clean up this barf in front of this guy. I have to eat off these hands eventually again, but he doesn't have to know, like. So I just put a fucking trash bag over for the night, and the secret, I didn't talk to any janitors before I did this, but maybe letting the barf cool down actually
Ugh.
helped. The smell wasn't as bad.
I have the chills. I have the chills.
Sorry, Evan. No, yeah, they make those urinal pads with the holes in them, planning for that, to strain.
It's pretty much
But
a,
the holes-
a
the
barf
holes were
sieve.
too
Waiting
big.
for someone to
Dude,
puke in the urinal.
The
Like a
holes were
barf
too big.
sieve.
So what I did was
Beer
I took a
koozies, we should
plastic
buy
cup.
those.
I
Oh,
took the ticket
urinal?
spike and I
Yeah.
poked a bunch of holes in the plastic cup, and then I sifted into the trash.
Oh
yeah.
my god, this is a lot of detail.
You
that I
got
don't
a
think I
whole
need
system
that.
down.
Well, I'm trying to let people know
Yeah.
in case it happens to them.
No,
And if you go to
bro, get one-
fourshotspodcast.com, you will be able to see Jay Clancy's way to clean out a urinal when he's just throwing up. Honestly, if you put that YouTube video out of that, like people would appreciate it.
I say
It
buy
wasn't-
a small wet dry vac. I know that sounds insane, but
Yeah, I wasn't gonna go to Home Depot at 9:00 on a Saturday
Yeah.
night while I
I'm
had
just
a full
saying,
section.
as a
I
as
just
a
flush
barf
it till it
cleaner.
goes down.
Yeah, it didn't though. I tried that like 15 times, buddy. Trust me, I was not excited to do this.
Did you try peeing on top of it?
I did not, but other people had.
Yeah, seriously.
That was the worst part about it, dude. So
All
now,
my ideas, I got nothing.
Yeah, any
Oh my
stand on
God.
the toilet should be peed on at least like 20,
like I could,
20 times.
I could tell what the guy had
See if you
eaten.
can get
It
it.
was that fresh.
Oh my god, I had that on the Tuesday before Blackout Wednesday. I literally threw my shoes away.
Yeah.
I cleaned it all up,
Ooh.
and I threw like my shoes in the dumpster, and I walked into
wait.
the garage in my socks. I was
Hold
like,
on, hold on.
Fuck
Let's
this.
set the scene. You said Blackout Wednesday, right?
No, it's the Tuesday before Blackout Wednesday.
Someone was getting at it early. Okay.
And so there's like a sushi restaurant like close to this bar. And she very clearly visited there.
You can still see the rice.
Oh my God, it was horrific. Anyway, so she like pukes, like not even in the toilet, like all over the floor, all over fucking everything. And I literally.
Hold on. Like, puking on the bar floor is one thing, but like when you get to the stall, like when you're actually there and the toilet's there and you just go everywhere else, how do you do that? Like, who the fuck are you?
Not one.
I have like a 10-minute countdown to puking where like first I'm panicking and then I walk around and like I start salivating uncontrollably and like then my throat starts hurting. I have so much warning even when I'm blackout drunk. I've never puked anywhere besides like garbage can at a bar or like the toilet. Like and some people act like it's a split second surprise. They'll just be like, you'll be talking to them and they'll just turn their head and throw up.
But that's
on
what I
the
mean.
floor.
Like if you're like,
are you a gambler or no?
No.
Some people gamble on that and some people don't.
Like hands on the toilet in a stall, and all of a sudden you're just like, and like throw up everywhere else. It's like what the fuck just happened, bro? Like, like the hard part was done. Like you're here.
The urinal was so irritating because like, okay, maybe the stall was occupied.
But there's still a stall.
There's a trash can.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it in the sink. Dude, would have been the same thing.
The urinal and the sink are just as bad. The urinal's worse because it's piss. I'd rather have you throw up in the sink because at least I know there's not piss in there. Like, all right. So anyway, go on.
Yeah, it was
hopefully nobody's eating dinner and listening to this podcast. We don't recommend that
by now.
Yeah, it was just like, well, we're close to a college, plus there's like a lot of college kids that come home. And I literally have cleaned up more puke at this bar than I did at Downing's in 8 years.
Okay.
That's impressive.
And I mean, we've all been to Downing's. So.
Yeah. Wow. There was a kid a couple Thursdays ago that came in here, and him and his buddy are having a drink off. They're going to see who can drink the most beer.
No.
Right? And I was like, first of all, fuck you guys. Don't do that. But there's nobody else here. So just be cool. And so he goes into the bathroom and he paints the floor. He pukes all over the place.
Ugh.
And so then one of the owners hands him a handful of paper towels and says, go clean it up, right? Which is, to me, that's even funnier than the fact that the first thing happened because, like, there's no way he's going to.
This is all allegedly.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
This happened in another universe on another plane. And this didn't happen. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So like he's like, I got it all cleaned up. Thank you guys. I'm so sorry, guys. Whatever. He leaves, and I go in there, and I'm like, that kid probably just stood in that bathroom for 10 minutes holding the paper towels. It was like, this is about how long it would take to clean it if somebody were to do that. I'm not doing it.
No.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like you got to go in there, you clean it up,
Yeah.
and you.
Well, I have like.
Are you shoveling it or what?
Oh my God. You know what I wish? I wish we had like when like kids would puke in
Sawdust.
school.
The pencil
Right?
sharpenings.
Yes.
I literally bought that stuff for a bar. I was like, how do we not have this? And I'd like go to one of my reps.
You can use
like,
salt too.
The sawdust is the best. The only thing is it smells like Newport cigarettes.
Ugh,
Yeah,
fine.
spoiler alert,
But
you can buy that from the people you buy all your
You
Yeah.
can
bathroom
make
stuff
it
from.
if you have access to
And
a Home Depot
But dude, I've literally
and some
I've
time.
literally
I
only
need
worked.
that.
I've literally only worked at one place, and the only reason we got it was because I was like, I did the ordering, and I'm like, we're getting this shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, how did we? I didn't even know this is like
Yeah,
still
barf
available.
cleanup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
Cashman could have used that shit, right?
Calling Greco tomorrow.
Oh
God.
but yeah, so you end up
We'll talk
having,
about this on
you,
the smoke
you
break.
end up having to throw your fucking shoes out.
Yeah. I literally threw them in the dumpster and walked. There's like an underground garage that we park in. And I like walked down there in my socks, and I'm like texting my husband like, bring me slippers when I get home. I'm also throwing away my socks. Like, fuck, it was horrible.
Holy shit. Yeah. Did I tell you guys about the time that college bars were at the drainage started like seeping up through behind the bar on Halloween?
Oh no.
And
No, let's go.
oh my god. So
sad.
I'm running the pizza side of this at the time, right? And it's Halloween, and all of a sudden I'm just like in the kitchen, like, what the fuck is that smell? And I go out there, and the fucking sewage line is like coming up out of the floor.
Oh,
And I look behind the bar, and it's coming up like there's inches of just shit water coming up
Oh no.
And someone's like, the bathroom's overflowing. So I run around the corner. I open the door, and to his credit, like the owner is fucking like elbow deep in this fucking toilet trying to unclog it. And it's like another dude that was a bartender, bar back. He was in there like trying to like plunge this thing with this guy. And I'm like, holy shit. And I go back, and the entire it's 2 floors. So the entire downstairs just smells like shit. And there's like 300 kids, and there's like 10:30 on Halloween night.
Oh,
No, like they just keep
Oh, my
fucking
God.
going. And like the owner's dad, like the owner's just like just keep going, keep pouring. And we fucking went like 3 hours. Luckily, I wasn't behind the bar actually, but like my roommate at the time was there, and for Halloween he went in as Jesus. But guess what?
Wearing
was on his feet?
sandals. He's wearing sandals.
No.
Oh no, dude.
Oh no.
And like 4 or 5 inches of shit water and fucking.
Do you think he's
sandals.
dressed up for Halloween since?
I'm pretty sure you die when he touches shit
Like,
water.
I know
No
he
matter
does.
what I do, it's gonna be cursed.
I know he does because he's the fucking like when I lived with him, we had like 2 closets of Halloween costumes.
Oh God.
Like so we could do like group shit.
At least he didn't let it ruin his favorite day.
It couldn't. His attitude, but like I remember leaving that night, and we literally like get to the house, and there's like 3 or 4 of us, and we're just like all like, this is garbage, like just right into the dumpster, just fucking like shoes are gone, everything like that. But yeah, dude, those kids sat there and partied for like 3 hours. And it smelled like fucking shit in there. Like it was horrible.
Damn.
And it was something like, I just remember walking in and seeing the owner, like he's literally elbow deep in like underneath the fucking toilet.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah,
And
he's better than me.
the plumber comes the next morning or whatever. But it was like
Yeah.
the problem was
He's like, oh, it was just off.
no. Well, the problem was like, halfway across the parking lot, like we had to get routed out and shit like that. Like
Totally.
I was just like, you just fucking were fisting some girl's shit for nothing.
Yeah.
And we'll end segment 2 of this episode of the 4 Shots podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm
there.
sorry that this is your episode and that we're talking about barf and puke.
Totally
and
fine.
Shit and yeah.
But we do appreciate you coming on. So thank you very much.
you.
What was
Thanks for having
the
me.
adult diaper company we want a sponsorship from? What was their name?
Oh yeah.
Depends.
North Shore
Shore.
Adult Diapers.
And depend.
For all of your unexpected needs.
Oops, I crap my pants. If you're out there, hit us up. We'll be right back.
An entire gallon. For this nice. Yeah, I need a little bit more. Come on.
Yeah. same.
You're right.
My buddy just shared this picture unironically. Just fucking idiot.
Don't you think it's unironic?
No, it's this picture. He just shared a Selma Hayek fucking selfie. I'm like, God, you fucking idiot.
I think those look inflated even beyond
Right.
already.
Fucking moron.
Did you ridicule?
No, it's a nice picture, but you don't have to share it on Facebook, Like, come on. All right, sorry.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fucking idiot. Sorry.
Yeah. Thurston after titties. What a dumbass.
You just don't tell everybody you know.
I'm
Right?
just joking because, it's like, hey, oh, what are they? What? What that?
Do you want to see the picture?
No, I know how to
I
Google
excluded
things.
you,
I know
but-
Google things.
I'm making fun of. Oh shit! I just refreshed Facebook. I'm not gonna look it up because then I'm him. There's a picture of Selma Hayek. It's a nice picture, but like just shared with no comment on Facebook. Like, why, dude? Like, we get it. It's been a while, but you're lonely. It happens to the best of us. But share. Are you sure you want to share this? Yup. There's 2 forms of verification on that, Like, you can't just share something on accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No mistakes are 1 click.
Yeah. He chose to. That's weird, right?
It's
Am I-
definitely weird.
Am I making a mountain out of a molehill?
Well, the fact that you're so upset about it, like,
I'm not upset. I just
you're
I
not
want to make
you're
fun of
not
this
married
guy.
to this guy, right?
No,
He's not your brother.
no.
I think you're.
I just
all
want to
right.
make fun of him though.
Oh, well, that's one thing.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one thing. Yeah, it was two things. Sorry. All right.
Okay.
4 questions. Hey.
We're almost there.
4 questions.
Yeah.
Almost. Warm up. I can't drink today. Choked coffee earlier today. Spit it out all over the shirt. There it is.
Probably not for you.
Not at the time, but later it was fun.
Yeah, it's fair.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still here at Charlie's Tavern in the heart of downtown Grays Lake, Illinois, and it is the 4 Shots Podcast segment number 3. We are still here with Jenn Rombca.
Nailed it.
All for that shit. All right. Before we get into the 4 questions, I got a couple things I still want to go through. Jay, this is a 2-part question that comes to you as well. So, what is the best advice you have ever received from somebody about working in the service?
Who's going first?
Whoever wants to.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
There's been a lot actually. Like when I started this, I started as a server. Like I didn't work my way up from bar back, bus, or anything like that. So I didn't have the experience. And like my family didn't go to restaurants when I was a kid. That wasn't a thing. My mom cooked, so restaurants were brand new to me. And I got a lot of good advice over the years from actually one of the guys that's been on this podcast, Ralph Landmesser. One time, like I was freaking out because, tickets were taking a long time, whatever. And he was like, simmer down. They're going to be poured. They're going to drink them. It's fine. Just like that. Sometimes when you're in the weeds, it seems like you don't have time to take a breath, but that's the only thing that you need to do to keep it going.
Yeah.
Is like, it's not a waste of time if it's going to positively impact the way that you finish your shift. And, mistakes pile up. One mistake turns into 3, 5, 7 when you're in the weeds. And so like, just having somebody who'd been doing it for so long, tell me just to take a breather was like such a stupid little thing, but it made such a difference.
Right.
And I try to pass that along to people all the time. Like they're like, I don't know if I've got 4 tables, and I'm like, first of all, buddy, 4 tables is not a lot. It is, but it is to you,
Yeah.
and that's okay. And we're gonna get through this. And does anybody need anything? What are you waiting on? What are you stressed about? Are you stressed that a food ticket is taking longer than you thought it was going to? Okay, well, that's a little bit beyond your control. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a table touch. Say, hey, it's taking an extra couple of minutes, but I'll get it up as soon as I can. And it's gonna, just, I think that was the first thing. I don't know. Now you go.
No, I was gonna say that's very good advice actually. When I first started bartending, I thought being fast was like all you could do, and so I'm like running. I'm literally
Yeah.
like sprinting behind the bar, like almost knocking people over. And someone was just like, "Don't ever run," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And they're like, "It makes you look like you don't know what you're doing."
Yeah.
They're like, "You can walk fast,"
Yeah.
but they're like, "Don't run." And I was just like,
You're
Oh,
on
like-
stage, man.
I thought I was just going extra fast. Like if I could run, like that was our whole thing was pump and dump. But it's kind of just you got to take a breath, slow down, do it at your pace, and just rock it out.
Because if you're good at what you do, and you should be, and you should want to be,
Yeah.
then you'll be able to figure it out.
Well, and
But
like you're,
adding extra stress to yourself does not help you figure it out necessarily. Everybody's brain's different, but for me at least, sometimes when I'm at Father's Day brunch last week was kind of chaotic, and there were times when I was, I knew that my tables needed drinks and da 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 da, and I could have freaked out about it, but instead, I ran somebody else's food, hoping that then they would clear up and I don't know, when all my drinks get, it's just, it's a balance thing. There's no perfect recipe.
Well, and you can't freak out about the shit you can't control.
Right.
Like
Right.
I'm obviously out here serving. I'm
Yeah.
not cooking your food.
Right.
If you want to yell at me and then have me go yell at the guy for you, like,
Yeah.
I'll tell you I'm gonna go do that. Like, I'm not gonna go do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, the
sorry.
biggest thing is like you always want the kitchen on your side, right?
Absolutely.
So you're not gonna like walk into the kitchen and like motherfuck all of them because a ticket is taking 32 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I mean?
That's how you make a ticket take 45 minutes.
Exactly.
It's by irritating the kitchen, right?
Oh, fuck you! You made a mistake. Now we're not gonna make your mistake.
all right, but
ticket,
not only
you
that,
know?
like here's something too, like just for you listeners at home. If a ticket takes 45 minutes, like if you're like, it's been 45 minutes since I ordered.
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it takes to cook dinner at home?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like obviously we're trying to be better, a little faster, whatever. Like, it's not McDonald's. It's not already pre-made, like
Right.
coming out.
Sure. Right.
And so if there's
And you modified it probably.
Yeah.
So that adds some time too.
so like
Yeah.
sometimes you got to realize, hey, like obviously
You're trying to explain to the people who've already lacked the awareness to just see that the restaurant's really busy and there's tons of people in there, and that it clearly looks
Thank you.
semi-frantic,
Right.
because obviously they're busy as fuck. Like, if you go into a place and they're like, oh, wait 20 minutes to sit down, and then you sit down and order food and it takes longer than 20 minutes. Like,
Right.
yeah, do you see it's like one in, one out here? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
come on, you know?
All right, so Jen, now it's your turn.
I think like the biggest thing when I was like first a bartender was like look up. I know that's like so weird, but
No,
like if you're
talking
like,
about keeping your eyes up.
right, you know, and you see a bar full of people and they all need drinks, right? And you're like got your head down, you're making all of these drinks and pouring beers and popping bottles and like whatever. It's like look up and like go to that person, like I see you. I
Mhm.
recognize that you need something.
Right.
I'll be with you next.
Yeah.
You know, like that was the biggest thing because people want to be validated, right?
Right.
Right.
So if they come and they sit at the bar and you have 5 other tickets or 6 other tickets, or at this restaurant that we have now, like the bartenders have a whole restaurant full of tickets.
Right.
You know, it's like look up, pay attention to who's at the bar and just be like, I'll be with you in a second.
And watch their drinks. If you have a
Right.
down moment and you see that somebody's less than half full on their drink,
Yeah.
keep that in mind. It doesn't mean you need to ask them if they want another one yet, but like you have
Right.
to fucking process so many different things and so
Yeah.
many different people.
I'll
at the same
I'll
time.
piggyback off that even because like
Yeah.
I tell like my bartenders, I'm like it's different for like different shifts, different managers working and whatnot. But when I'm there, I'm like I'm looking to see if those tickets pile up. Like first off, I want you taking care of the bar.
Yeah.
Like the bar should be good. And then if I see a ticket pile up, that means I know, hey, she's taking care of something or he's taking care of something. And I'm gonna jump back there, grab that ticket, and make the service well shit.
yeah.
The thing that makes me upset is when they're got like 10 tickets in their hand trying
I
to do
hate that
this,
so
and then
much.
and
Oh
then
my
I have
God.
to go bartend the bar because I'm
Yeah.
like you're doing it the other way.
Right.
And,
Right.
and they'll be like, well, I don't want you coming back because then you don't think I can do it. I'm like, no. Like the whole reason I'm here
We're a team.
is
Right.
like if I didn't think you could do this, you wouldn't be working here.
Right.
Like, you know,
It drives. So my thing is like I see bartenders do that too, and they grab a stack of tickets. I'm like, grab 2 at a time,
Two.
max.
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
maximum.
like if it's Miller Lite, this, that, you know, Tito Soda, whatever. Cool. Grab 5 tickets.
no,
but
but
if it's like, you know, Miller Lite, Tito Soda, like 10 cocktails.
see,
then
I'm
it's
a hard
that,
two.
like, you're stopped.
If you grab a third ticket out of those 2, the time you're spending thinking about what you need to do is a waste
Right.
because you have to make those 2 tickets first anyway, right? So
Well,
you have
know what? Like, I also teach, like, I'm not going to make them in order necessarily. Like, if I grab 5 tickets.
Oh, I always do.
Oh, no. If I grab
always
5
do.
tickets and the first one is 3 cocktails and the next one's a beer and the next one's a. You
Oh
know,
yeah. No.
Like
yeah,
obviously.
For sure.
Always
Like,
in order for me. Yeah.
Oh, really? No, see,
Yeah.
I
It
will.
sucks, but
No, you have to organize them. Like, if you're a table of 12 and you order 10 craft cocktails, you need to know that those 10 craft cocktails are going to take a minute to come out.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're a table of 2 who ordered a Tito soda and a Miller Lite right behind those guys. I need to get that drink out before I get the
So
the
yeah, in that
cocktails.
circumstance where it's that many
And so
cocktails,
like,
yes.
but
But
that-
in
but that's-
general, I grab 2 at a time, and I mean, because at the end of the day, you're screwing yourself over if you pour somebody before the other. You're trying to pace the entire evening for everybody, right? So the first person to order their drink gets their drink, and then they're going to order again at the average amount of time it takes somebody to drink a drink. Like I don't know.
But see, so I'll explain
drink
why
a whiskey drink.
I'm gonna be a little bit of a cunt. If you
Oh, don't use that
So-
word.
so
Well,
the reason I would say like not to do it that way is like so like I was saying, say you get one table that comes out first and it's 10 shitty cocktails, right?
Yeah.
And then you get 5 like easy to make beer cocktails behind it.
Yeah.
I'd rather make sure that I had 5 happy tables and then the one who knows they should be waiting, coming and waiting for those drinks, rather than, hey, I'm going to make sure this one table of 10 people and then I got 4 angry tables behind.
Yeah, but the table that you're talking about with 10 craft cocktails that are, I'm assuming, separate,
Well,
is
no, I'm not saying 10,
relatively rare, right?
I'm saying if
Doesn't
you,
happen all
even
the
if you
time.
have 3 beers, 3 drinks, and 3 cocktails, like
I
still,
just make
still
them in
pouring-
order.
I'm still doing the other ones first.
Oh, and to each their own. And obviously, nobody's perfected this business. That's why there's these conversations still. But I think I pour them in order, and that's it. I'm not going to do it any other way.
Well, I mean, that's like the moment that I jump behind the bar, right?
Yeah,
So if they have like one of my
Yeah,
bartenders
that's a
is
lot of
working on that,
cocktails.
yeah.
that 10 top,
Well, yeah.
right?
And that's another
And
reason why I
then-
think 2 tickets is great, because if I don't see tickets coming out of the printer and there's a bartender who's walking around with they're up their sleeve or wherever,
Yeah.
and they've got 15, then I
Yeah.
don't know that they need help, and I'm
Right.
taking tables too. So
See,
like,
Yeah.
And that's what makes me angry is when,
Yeah.
when you have that. So I'm like, I don't know you're busy because you're talking to a customer and I can't see in your hand you got 20 tickets. there,
Right.
You know, like that.
yeah. It, like I think to some bartenders it's like a pride issue, like we've talked about. Kind of, it's like if I can't handle this, like
For sure.
But also, like you said, you wouldn't be working here if you couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
You're fine. Your
Right.
job's secure. It's okay. And like grabbing all 15 of those tickets and then misplacing some of them is not helping anything go smoother here. It's not
Yeah.
making this a more efficient establishment, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's happening is that you're in the weeds. You need to take a breath, and now you got 4 servers at the well waiting for drinks, and that's irritating to a bartender. That's the worst thing you can see, and you're like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Dude, that server stands when they do it.
And they're like,
Like they give they give you
Can I
that
get,
lean, like
yeah. Or then they're waiting
Are
for
you
it forever,
kidding me?
and they
Yes, and
fuck
then they-
something up.
Or they're like, oh, hey, by the way, I need that Miller Lite like 5 minutes ago. Like, do you not understand that there's 30 tickets? Like, we will get to it.
did
we will
you
get
did you
it.
see that Tito soda?
Yeah.
This one? Right.
Yes.
Oh, here I got another good piece of advice again from Ralph. It was like my 3rd day on the job, and I didn't stab the ticket for like a 7-drink order,
Ugh.
so it got remade.
You
Oh,
got-
no.
You got yelled at, didn't you?
Not by the manager, because I was new.
No, the bartender but he yelled
No,
at
he
you.
didn't yell at me. He pulled me aside and he was like, "I don't know if you give a shit about this place or not, but that was an $85 mistake."
Fuck.
And sale.
Yeah.
Wow.
But then after the shift, we drank together and we were cool. It was
10.
fine. But he said it very directly. That's how he is, Yeah, right. Not quite $85, but
Man, that whole
he was
cell
like
looked
brand new
nice.
server. Who knows if this guy's even going to do this for
Yeah.
more than, so he told me, and
See, I would have yelled
appreciate
at
it.
you, man. Like, that was 2 minutes of my life. Never came back. Fucking asshole.
No, Ralph's cool as
Now
fuck.
drink one of these real quick before fucking someone really important yells at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did do that. One of the glasses of red wine. He was like, "Do you want it?" And I was like, after that, he was like, "You want it?" And I was like, "Yeah,
Those are my 2 favorite
You're like,
things.
yeah, I need my antioxidants.
yeah,
My 2 favorite things are mistake drinks and mistake food,
yeah,
right? Because then you
absolutely."
just like put it over there and you're like eating pizza.
Then you make fun of one of your coworkers for
Yes.
45 seconds,
Yeah.
maybe max.
That happened
And-
yesterday. Someone was like, I accidentally put artichokes on this pizza. I don't know why I did that. I'm like,
You idiot!
Yeah.
Give me it. Yeah.
That's hilarious to add something that wasn't even
Just
discussed.
like, I don't even know how I hit this
Just
button.
like, yeah, nobody even said the word, but I just wrote it down. You
Just
know?
winging it.
Out
Just
of
winging it
nowhere.
every day.
It'd
so
be
happens
one thing
that
if
I
you ordered
fucking
like a
literally love
buffalo
art
pizza,
jokes.
like
Right.
no onions or something, and they forgot to put no on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was no pre-written script. They were just like artichokes.
That's half my
Yeah,
dinner.
right.
Half my dinners are mistake food.
It's great.
Yeah.
When I go home and tell my husband, I had a mistake pizza today. Or,
And
you know.
three chicken wings. You know.
Yeah.
I hope you get some mistake pesto bacon sandwiches because those are fucking really good. Holy shit. That's my favorite thing from Donati's for sure. The pesto bacon panini.
Let's promote it.
Oh.
So pesto
I'm promoting
bacon.
it right
Does
now.
it come with a side?
Chips.
A certified fat guy is
And a
telling
cookie.
you
Not a
what
choice of
sandwich to
side. Just chips
and a
cookie?
cookie.
Okay.
But the sandwich is like this big.
get. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's the size of a dinner plate.
Yeah.
It's huge.
What's that run? $17?
$12.
Yeah.
$12.95.
12?
$12.95.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's good.
dude.
It's
Yeah.
like this big, and the bread is so greasy, crunchy focaccia. It's like
But
Yeah.
it's good pesto,
Oh,
right?
it's so good.
I'm very picky about pesto.
the
Yeah.
pesto's good.
We make
the
it from
chicken's
scratch.
good. The
Yeah.
bacon's
Picky pesto
good.
eater.
Yeah.
We make the
He
bread
thinks
from
that I'm a
scratch.
picky eater. I'm not, obviously. But
They have
I
good
don't love
salads, too,
salmon.
though, don't worry.
that's where the argument
It's
started.
pronounced
It's
salmon.
never ended.
Salmon.
But dude, good pesto is fantastic. Bad pesto, hard
All right.
pass. Sorry.
Hold on. There's a couple things I
Sorry
wanna
for talking
hit.
about pesto
I wanna
so
hit a
much.
couple things real quick. We were talking about like drinking ban, because obviously everybody's worked at a place. Maybe you haven't, like where you're allowed to drink.
Yeah.
And explain to us like what a drinking ban is.
Oh my God.
Like as an employee, and then
Like
as a
you can't
supervisor
sit there after shift and drink?
No, so when I
Oh,
worked
I worked at a
at
place that did that.
hate that.
when I
That was not
worked
fun.
at Downing's, you could take shots with customers,
Right.
right? So people would come in and you do shots with them. And I was actually off shift one day, and I was sitting in the bar just like visiting, I think Kyle or whoever. And the owner pulls me into the basement, into his office. He's like, "Hey,
When you say pulls you into the basement, that doesn't sound
That
good.
is-
okay, sorry." He
Ask you
asked
to
me
join him in the
nicely
basement. Yeah,
to
that's
talk
not
to
any
me
better.
in the basement.
In
I'm
our,
sorry, I'm
employee,
sorry.
in our employee lounge.
Hannibal Lecter invited me into the basement.
Anyway, get your
Invited.
minds out of the gutter. So
Can't.
he's like, "Hey, do you think this job is hard?" And I said, "No, this is like the easiest job ever." He goes,
Oh, don't ever say that.
Yeah, that's not good.
He goes,
We try to keep that a secret.
he goes, "So why do you have to drink so much Jameson to get through a shift?"
That's the funniest way he could have done that, though. That's actually pretty.
Yeah, that's
I was like, "No,
amazing.
facts. You're right." He's like, "So like maybe we're gonna take a pause from drinking on shift." So we like couldn't do shots with anybody. We couldn't like have shift drinks, like none of that. So then we just started like sneaking shooters into the employee bathroom,
Right.
or like
Oh my god.
it was like the winter, so we put like a bottle of vodka like in the snow outside the kitchen.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those little shooters fit really nice in a server apron. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
We might have to block some names out of this.
I don't think so.
Unless they don't give a fuck. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't.
Clear
Who's
with
gonna
that.
sue me? The apron industry?
Yeah, I don't know any girls named Apron. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think Ed is gonna like listen to this and be like,
How long? Like,
Gotcha.
Like when you would go on these bands, like were you the one who had to enforce it to everybody else?
no, like he would like watch the camera and like say that we couldn't drink. He'd be like, you're drinking 27 shots of Fireball. Like we can't do that, So that was like a weird time, but I always feel like everyone in the industry just like loves alcohol. So
Do you let your
much.
bartenders right now drink?
Yeah,
Like,
but not like a whole shift. So the thing is like they can.
I was gonna say this is
Yeah, so they can have a drink after dinner service or when the bars close. It kind of depends on like where that falls. But if someone were to buy them a shot or a drink, we let them have it because the customer is like encouraging them and paying for it. But that's like really how that goes.
Right.
Okay.
Do you have any like time limits on that, or just kind of like if someone's gonna
I mean,
buy
I
your
would
show?
obviously like my morning bartender is not doing shots at like 11 a.m.
Not that
Yeah,
you know, not that you know of.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch the cameras and I make sure that they're not fucking up. No, but I mean, I want to like cultivate like a fun environment.
Right.
Like I would hate to like be serving other people and like not, if they want to buy me a drink, like not be able to partake.
Right.
So we let them, but to a degree.
An extent.
An
Yeah.
extent.
Yeah.
You know what I
right,
mean?
Yeah.
Like I don't want like somebody wasted, because then that turns into like a liability, right?
Right.
It's like, oh, this bartender was wasted and serving me, and now I have a DUI, and now she's
Yeah.
going to prison.
Right. And nobody
You
wants
know?
a drunk bartender, right? I mean, it's you have to be the adult in the room to an extent.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah, 100%. So I like monitor it and I let them. But I mean, I also want to like be fun and I don't know. It's like
like
it's a gray area,
it's
dude.
a
everyone
very
forgets.
gray area.
Yeah, everyone forgets in this industry. Like we are creating party. We are throwing the party.
Right.
Like that's
Yeah.
what you're coming in here for.
Right.
Like, and you can cute it up and
Because
dial
you're
it up
too
as
boring
much
to
as
do
you
it
want.
yourself at your house.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you have to.
Or
do
you can be like,
now we're overcharging you for everything. And
well, even like
Yeah,
it's
learn
like
to cook a
when you
flame
come into
steak, dude.
cocktails and all this, and oh, we have a mule bar or a fucking Bloody Mary
Oh,
bar, and all
God.
like you're just cuting up party. Like
Yeah.
we're still
Yeah.
making party
absolutely.
and everything like that. So it's like the person that's throwing the party kind of has to party a little bit, like you can't be like John Taffer sucks fucking dick. Allegedly.
Fuck John Taffer.
Allegedly.
Fuck John Taffer. I hate that guy. He can't even make a Manhattan. Did you? We probably talked about this.
I
3
don't
times
think we
on the
did,
show.
but that guy actually will sue us.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
that guy's gonna sue the shit.
Allegedly.
If John Taffer wants to sue us, he can sue me individually. My name's James Francis Clancy V. I live in Twin Lakes, Wisconsin, and you can't make a Manhattan. He can't. Did you see that on the
How
on
did
the
he try to make a Manhattan?
on the View? Or one of the, Meredith Vieira was the host. He goes to make a Manhattan, and he muddles a cherry
Anywhere.
and an
Shut
orange
the fuck
in
up.
a rocks glass like this to make
Shut
a
up.
Manhattan. And she even says, like, oh, my husband loves Manhattans. I've never seen it done this way. He's like, this is actually the classic. This is the way that it's done. And he's just fucking, he has no idea what he's doing. He's fucking winging it. He's just fucking vibing on being a shitty old person. And so, so he pours the rest of it in there. He did not make a Manhattan, but he said, that's the proper way to do it. I fucking hate that guy.
So what did he make? Like a mix of a Manhattan and an old fashioned?
I think he was just guessing. I don't think he's ever actually bartended. I think, well, he's a businessman, not a
He's a
bartender.
bouncer.
He's the guy who
He was a
invented the
bouncer?
NFL Sunday ticket.
Yeah.
That's he.
His idea was like the Sunday, or not Sunday ticket. It was the Red Zone channel.
I think it was the Sunday ticket,
Nah,
man.
His idea was
the
who Taffer?
Yeah.
It wasn't the Sunday ticket. His idea was the Red Zone. Yeah.
I bet you
Red Zone?
$20 that it was the Sunday ticket.
Oh,
I bet you
whoa,
$10
bed
it was-
skis.
All right, 5. Yeah, because you're
Excuse.
confident. Either way, he's been a
Allegedly.
consultant his entire life.
Yeah.
He's never bartended. He's owned bars, but
Yeah.
owning a bar does not make you a bartender,
No.
right?
100%.
Sorry to all the bar owners, all 88 of
Yeah,
them who
you're
are
saying
listening to this.
violence, everyone, Jay, jeez.
Jay's rant.
Yeah,
Am I
It's all
wrong?
feisty right
yeah
now.
Jay's feisty.
I'm feisty. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah. Sorry, John Taffer.
Disclaimer.
You're great.
And we have a new T-shirt.
I hate John Taffer because he just is the
His turn.
embodiment of like, hey, every bar should be the same. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
every bar shouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
We
He-
don't need like John Taffer MBA to like tell
Right.
everyone how to make every
He
bar
finds
in
a
America
failing
the fucking
bar
same.
and then he makes it more expensive to run and then he leaves. And these people who couldn't run the cheaper version of that bar
Yeah.
now have more expenses.
He's like,
and
we're-
it fails.
We're gonna come in here. We're gonna redo the whole place. We're gonna give you 5 TVs.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna get these nice bar stools that look like they're out of 50s diner,
Yeah.
and this bar top, and you're gonna have 10 craft beers. Plus, guess what?
a quinoa bowl,
And we're gonna fly everyone to
at a
Ireland.
shitty dive bar. You're a sports
Yeah, you know
bar.
what your failing dive bar needs? A $26 appetizer.
We're gonna make the. We're gonna make
you
these
guys don't
smash
have
burgers.
ahi tuna here?
We're gonna make these. Smash
That's why you're
burgers
failing.
That go on these square white plates that everyone's gonna love. And guess what? Sriracha dipping sauce. Have you ever had
That bar needs soup. That's what that bar needs. That's what would fix that bar. I want to be the reverse John Taffer, but soup everywhere.
First off, hold on.
Instead of saving the bar, you're just like strictly consulting on it being
There's-
cool. You're like, let's make this bar cooler. Just
There's some bar in
Chow.
You guys should have iguanas here too.
There's some bar in McHenry or something. Fuck, dude. One of our when one of my servers went
A Taffer bar?
No.
There
I
was
was
the
at-
Dirty Rooster in Antioch.
No, I was gonna say one of my servers went and joined the Air Force and on her going away party. It was at some bar in like Fox Lake, McHenry, something like that. And they did flights of soup.
What?
And it was the greatest fucking
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
That's actually cool.
That's
Amazing.
there's a bar that
Soup
does a
flight.
deep dish pizza flight. Believe it or not, I like that place. Kind of looks like I would, right? But yeah, you can get 4 baby deep dish pizzas.
Dude, a flight of soup though.
A soup
That's
flight,
the
yeah.
shit.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's amazing.
so it's pretty intense. A plate of soup. I don't know.
Well,
Big commitment.
Sodium, man. Got to think about
Did we
that
even
with
start
soup.
4 questions yet?
No, we haven't done shit.
All right, let's get to it.
I
Ladies
gotta
and gentlemen,
pee. Countdown soon.
All right.
You think we have 5
Do you
minutes?
want to do a pause?
No, I mean, often we split the third segment in half. I'm saying that should be soon.
Let's
if
just
we're
go.
gonna
All
do
right,
that.
let's go.
This is the pause.
All
Boom,
right,
pause.
all right. We're taking a break.
Okay, I can pee too.
Pause for a good cause. And caramelized onions, right?
A little bit.
Yep, I could tell.
I can smell that sugar.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just go right to it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is time for the 1,
2, 3,
4 questions part of this podcast.
I'm sorry, I was having a sip.
It's okay to have a sip. It's fine.
I fucked it up, but it's all right. They're all unique, and that's what makes them special.
The sips?
All right.
Oh,
No, the chance.
well, the sips too.
All right, so Jen, this is the part we call better get to know your service industry employee. On your day off, what do you enjoy doing? What do you do?
I almost pulled the cord out. Go on, baby. Go on. She almost pulled her power cord out.
That would've been
It was around her
hilarious.
neck. I was
She's
like,
like, this
"Oh, no,
podcast
no, no."
sucks. So day off. What are you doing?
It depends. So I have Sundays and Tuesdays off, which are very random. Sunday I spend with my husband and we just watch horror movies and drink vodka and linger around the house. And then Tuesday
What
is
kind of horror? What's your favorite horror movie?
oh, I don't know.
Or you could say 5. It's fine too.
Yeah, name
Fun.
some because I'm interested.
Well, I like all the Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are my
Okay.
fave.
Good ones.
Waiting. That's a good horror movie.
Every-
Because it's my life now.
Every
Failure to launch.
Yeah.
new server or bartender, we always make watch Waiting.
They definitely should.
You need to watch this movie.
And the
Yeah.
Slam and Salmon. That's a good one too.
yeah.
So you don't sue us when you see a scrotum. You just think it's normal.
And then Tuesday is just my day to get shit done,
Caught up on life, yeah.
Yeah. I have to be a productive human on Tuesdays.
Have you always been into horror movies or?
I mean, yeah, I like my husband is very much a movie buff, so we watch all kinds of movies.
That's awesome. I love watching movies as well.
Yeah.
What would be the best horror movie you've seen in the last 5 years? What would you tell everyone to go
Oh.
watch?
So hard.
Because there's a thin line between a good one and a bad one,
Yeah.
and then even there's good cheesy ones that from back in the day.
Yeah, no, I actually really like B horror movies. like that are like my killer couch,
Yeah.
like those are
Shrooms.
horrible.
Are you watching like a lot
Really
of like
good.
Hitchcock, like old movies?
Yeah, we watched them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Birds.
he loves the Twilight
Birds
Zone.
gets me because it's so weird.
Rear
It's
Window.
it's so bad, but it also is like birds are everywhere, and
I
it like
hate
hits
birds.
a certain nerve.
too.
And it's a certain thing.
I got
where it's
attacked by a
like,
peacock when I was a
fuck,
kid. Yeah,
I
we
hate
talked about this.
Wait,
birds.
you got attacked by a peacock?
Yeah,
We talked about that.
Yeah,
I think so.
they're
Oh,
angry.
Jesus.
at the Milwaukee Zoo. I was 5. I was with my grandparents, and they couldn't help.
I don't think this story's that uncommon.
Yeah. I got too close to its fucking favorite bush, and there's probably peacock eggs. It was the peahen he was probably worried about, and I got too close and I got chased. Yeah. So I hate birds. I hate them. I typically try to order chicken at a restaurant instead, just so that more birds die. I fucking hate them. I don't like them. They're delicious, but I fucking hate the fact that they exist.
It's gonna be okay.
But yeah,
It's gonna be okay.
Rear Window is my favorite Hitchcock movie. Jimmy Stewart, James Stewart, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I do the worst James Stewart impression, so I'm
Let's
not going
hear
to. Oh, sure. Yeah. I end up sounding like Mickey Mouse a little bit because he's got that whistle to his voice. You know what I mean? Like,
Let's hear it.
no, I
Come on.
oh, the window, the rear window. See,
You're right.
I'm looking out at it.
Yeah,
There's all this stuff going on. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm gonna get the law enforcement involved, even though I don't really know. And then he does, and
I
yeah,
feel
but he
like-
was right.
I feel like that's how like every
Oh
like
my
50s and 60s movies, like they all talk that way.
The transatlantic accent,
Yes,
yeah,
100%.
See, I sound just like FDR.
Clarence.
Everybody-
Clarence.
Yeah.
The money's in his house, and in his house, not in my house.
Now, how much do you really need? It's a Wonderful Life. Great movie. Great
It'll be the
movie.
worst episode of this podcast.
It's a wonderful
Just us just
podcast.
doing Jimmy.
Yeah. Just everybody talks like Jimmy Stewart the entire time, and nobody
We're gonna
nails
laugh
it.
at you guys a lot, I think, but it's not going to be bad.
If you haven't seen it, look up fucking Dana Carvey doing Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
If you haven't seen it, look up Pepperboy because I think it's the funniest service industry SNL skit of all time.
I hate that episode. I hate that
You
skit.
hate Pepperboy?
Yeah.
It's the funniest SNL skit ever.
It's not.
No,
Not even close.
so good.
Chris Farley, man.
I don't know. Canteen Boy is pretty good.
Dude.
Matt Foley. That's the best. SNL.
I've met the real Matt Foley.
Yeah.
He's a priest. Real person.
In a van.
Real person.
Yeah, I mean, Chris
Van.
Farley was
down by the river.
from Madison,
Yeah.
right? So not
So
too far
if
away.
you go to the island over in Libertyville, there's a picture on the wall of the UW rugby team. And there's about 7 or 8 Libertyville kids and then the 2 Farley brothers.
Yeah.
And like they like knew each other. Matt Foley from Libertyville, like a real person.
This is the first time hearing of this.
Yeah, no, it's kind of one of those things where like
You're looking at me like I should know. I don't.
well, so he created this character, and then like they're like, you got to give the guy a name, and he just like said his buddy's name. He's like Matt Foley, and this guy is a priest now,
Really?
and so like I've met this guy a couple times. He's done midnight mass over at St. Joe's in Libertyville and stuff like that. And the first time I met him, someone was like, "This is Matt."
This is
Foley.
not a religious podcast,
no.
but some of us are affiliated differently.
Well, like the first time I met him, someone was like, "This is Matt Foley," and I was like you're
Oh
like
my
the
God.
Matt Foley. He's like, "Young man, how are you doing?" I was just like,
Put her there, brother bear.
like it's literally just like that. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like,
How the hell are you?
not that big of a guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, real
That's crazy.
person. It's pretty funny. All right, question number 2. When you are going home from work, are you listening to anything on the radio? What are you doing?
Most of the time, I actually drive home in silence.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Someone said this was a stupid question.
Yeah. Well, you're like only the second silence we've gotten, maybe third.
Yeah.
No, I just like, I don't know. I just like need that time because I'm like a people person so much, right? And I'm like talking to everyone at the bars and the restaurants and like, they're telling me their life stories or what's going on with their life that I just like need a minute before I get home to like decompress.
I think
ever-
I heard this
you know?
phrase the best way that I possibly. There's a TikTok bartender named Davey Francis who said he's similar in that regard, that he needs silence because
Yeah.
he spends his work week giving so much of himself to other people
Yeah.
that he needs time for himself, and it doesn't need to include anybody.
Well,
Right.
Like the radio.
Scotty said that like when he was on it with
Yeah.
us, he was just like, I need to decompress.
Yeah.
Like I just gave everything I had this weekend to you guys,
Right.
and sometimes just like, oh, fuck.
Dude, I put on WBBM just to
Dude,
hear the traffic
best.
reports because it's so boring.
Best.
And it
What's
feels like you
WBBM?
News Radio 78.
traffic on the sevens.
Traffic and weather on the 8s.
There
Yeah, on
used
the
to be a
eighth.
radio station we called the porno station that played like soft jazz. It was like 94.5 or something. That
Yeah,
was
hard
my
pass, man.
decompressed station. It was like,
Or I put on the score and just listen to like, because the score now
No, see,
late
I
night
can't
it's
do-
CBS,
no.
man. It's a different
I can't
thing.
do like the sports guys because they're all just like, this is why this guy's the
Yeah,
best player
yeah,
ever, and he ain't gonna make it. And it's just like, Jesus,
Here's
fuck.
something funny. We were, and it's just like tell the fucking
Yeah.
story, man. It's not that fucking funny.
There
in the
used to
first
be this
place.
guy. Fuck, I can't think of his fucking name. It was Art something, and he was like an X-Files like conspiracy theory dude. And my dad used to listen to him like when I was a kid, when I was like a little kid.
Remember Mike North?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, fuck, I'll remember what it was, but it was Art something, and like he literally had like a conspiracy theory like show that was on like at 8 o'clock.
Dude.
So I'd be like a kid, and we'd be leaving like my like 5th grade basketball game, and my dad would be listening to this crazy shit, and he'd just be looking at me like, "You believe this guy?" Like, something. It was like X-Files, like something about aliens, you know,
Yeah.
like mind control. It was always MK Ultra shit, but it was
God.
oh fuck. I'm gonna Google it, and we'll find out what this guy's name was.
I've like my parents have never really liked each other that much, as far as I know. But the closest they ever got to splitting up was my mom getting into the car one time. We were going to Christmas at my grandparents' house, and my dad turns it, and it's Mike North talking. And he goes, "I'm sorry," like he had to hide it. Then he listened to the score because he knew that she hated it so much. I don't know. That wasn't that funny. I
That she
guess.
hated the score.
no, that's good.
No, just
Good
couldn't
material.
stand the guy.
Don't
Couldn't
worry.
stand the guy. Like, because he's so fucking annoying. He was. My dad was like, yeah, no, I know he's annoying, but it's like therapeutic
That's
for
a
me.
true Chicago family. Like, I know you don't like Mike North.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, babe.
My dad
My
listened
bad.
to Rush Limbaugh. I don't think it gets worse than that.
Well, that's
It really
different.
doesn't.
Like,
That's
this
true.
is like being like Dan Bernstein is the worst person in the world. And I cannot believe you. You're like,
I love Dan
and
Bernstein.
I do love Dan Bernstein. I'm just saying. I was using that as,
He's such a whiner, but
no,
oh,
he's not.
great.
Dan Bernstein's awesome.
But okay,
Dan
have you ever
Bernstein.
listened and not thought like, oh my god, he's such a
All
whiner.
right. We gotta
Whatever. It's not
ask
about
Jen the
us.
third
It's not
question
about
here.
us. So you're listening to like silence.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like no podcast, no radio. You're just driving home, dead quiet, thinking in your
Yeah.
head.
I mean, like,
100% psychopath.
Thank you so much, Pat.
She likes horror movies, so yeah, maybe that's what she's
Yeah,
going
no,
for.
I'm just gonna drive home in silence and watch a horror movie after my bar
Ideally,
shift.
you could kill somebody on the ride
Yeah.
home, but if you can't,
fine.
it is what it is. You know,
It's fine.
those things just kind of pop up.
Yeah. But no, it's just like the shifts like drain me, especially like being a manager and like having to touch all the tables and everyone at the bar. You know what I mean? Like, I just need like a minute.
Well, and like
a lot of
compared to
times.
being a bartender, like when you're bartending, like obviously if there's a problem with one of your customers, you're dealing with that too. But like
Right.
then going into management where it's like, I got this problem. Like someone's coming up to you, I got this problem, and then
Yeah.
someone else, I got this problem, and then
Yeah.
someone else, hey, this is going on, and then you're
Yeah.
just like, you're like, what the fuck? Like what? Why is everything happening right now? Like,
Right. Yeah.
Do you feel as a manager ever like that your shift doesn't end? It just you've been on shift since you took that job.
She's been getting texts and phone calls while
Right.
she's sitting here talking. with
Right.
us.
Right. So yeah, like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
just
I
on
mean-
shift for the rest of your life.
So one of my kitchens opens at the restaurant opens at 10, but the cooks are getting there at 8.
Yeah.
So basically from 8 a.m. until 2 a.m., I can get phone calls.
Yeah.
Do you put
You know?
like a boundary on that and ask people
No.
not to call you outside of? Yeah, right.
You don't.
Never.
You don't.
You
You don't
can't.
just go like because you said you
Never.
had the 2 nights up. Like you're just not like Wednesday night. That no,
No.
don't fucking call me.
No, my founder actually
no
calls.
point.
He calls my days off work from home opportunities.
What a
No,
I'm not
no, no.
I'm not
It's
gonna say
No.
actually genius. It's fuck. I love him for that.
He's half kidding. Half kidding.
No, he's not kidding at all.
No.
That's
Not
a great. That's
kidding
a
at
great.
all.
It's a great line.
Yeah. But like
That's
I.
a great line.
It is. But my biggest concern is like the restaurants. Like even on my days off, like tomorrow I'm off, right? And I have like my own shit to do, but I'm still gonna call at 10 o'clock and make sure all the bartenders are there. I'm gonna call at 11 o'clock and make sure all the catering got out. I'm gonna call that all throughout the day to just make sure like everything's okay. Because I want to make sure that we're like growing these businesses and this brand the best that we can.
Right. So there's part of it that's you wanting that to happen.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side of it where it's stuff that's beyond your control that you're getting calls about.
Right.
And so like you're basically working how many hours are in a year? That many
all of
hours a
those.
year. Yeah,
I work
right.
all of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's chaos, man.
It is chaos. But
You have to love that to
um,
be in this industry, right? But
yeah. But I mean, I would probably be bored otherwise. Like I don't have kids. My husband works like the exact opposite hours I work. Which sucks, but I want to make sure that these brands or these businesses are successful because then that
right.
guarantees that I'm going to be successful.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you got to show up. You got to put the work in. You got to be available.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard, like having a husband and then having to, like, on your day off, you're like, hey, I gotta take this phone call or whatever? Like,
Yeah, like sometimes he gets like really mad on Sundays. Like Sunday is like the day that everything goes fucking awry.
of course.
Yeah.
You know?
Sunday, you're either dead or you're.
Yeah, Sunday is like the day. So I like wake up, like 8, 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and I like look one closed eye at my phone, and I'm like, what the fuck, fresh hell are we dealing with today?
Yeah. Right.
But the great thing about Jeff is that we can adapt very fast, and that like all of our bartenders and all of our servers and all of our cooks really are trained in all of the restaurants, so we can plug and play. But a lot of it is just like trying to figure it out on the fly, like literally every morning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into question number 2. What is the one thing you love the most about this industry and the one thing you hate the most about this industry?
Well, the one thing that I hate the most is like the hours, right? Because I have bars that are open until 1 a.m. And that can be like a little bit taxing when I start my day every day at 9 o'clock. But the thing that I love the most is like the people. I love like interacting with everybody in the restaurant. Like we have regulars at all the restaurants that float between the restaurants. I'm such a people person that's like my main thing, that I love like engaging, and I love like I actually have a desk in the backside of a kitchen in one of the restaurants, and I hate sitting there. I would much rather like sit at the bar, and
Wait, do you
see
do you
what's
have a desk
happening.
right now?
I do have a desk.
I kind of dream about that. Like a
Yeah.
place
Desk?
a place I could put my Crocs up and just fucking kick back
It's overrated.
and like
They're never gonna like
lean back on a bag of onions, like something like that. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
I mean, I do
But-
have a desk, but I would much rather like sit at the bar, like at the corner of the bar,
And see what's happening?
and see what's happening, and be like, hey, that person has an empty drink, or like, hey, is this person's food ready, or like whatever the case may be, or like talk to my regulars. Like that's the part of it that I love. I love like just like being in it, and I love like all the people and all the connections that I've
Do you
made
feel
being in it.
Like you said, you didn't like the hours.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that changed from when you went to a bartender to like in the management, like, and then you
Yeah.
got married, obviously, like
Yeah.
was that the change that you were kind of like not cohesive between the two lives?
Yeah, it gets to be a little bit tough because Brandon's like, when are you coming home? When are you coming home?
And
When are
does
you
he
coming
works
home?
a 9 to 5?
Yeah,
or-
he works like a 7 to 4,
Ooh.
Monday through Saturday or whatever.
Trades or
Yeah, he works at a car dealership in the service department. So he has like a much different job and a much
Right.
different experience than I do. But the big thing for me is like when I was a bartender, I could go in at like 2:00 when the bar opened and work till midnight. Now I go in at 9:00 when
Right.
all the other restaurants open and make sure like shit's okay for the
Yeah.
rest of the day.
right.
But like at the same time, I get to leave at like 8:00 or 9:00 and like leave, the
Still a long
bartenders
day
are
though.
closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course it is.
Yeah.
But I also feel like if I'm there and controlling shit, then shit can't go awry. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Right.
So it's like almost my fault.
Well,
Hmm.
it's hard.
I get that
like,
mentality, yeah, but
like you do eventually have to be able to delegate. Like,
Yeah.
and delegation is hard to do. Like, especially when you're like, I want it done this way. I want it done this. I know I can get it done exactly how I want it done compared to someone who's going to get it 90% of the way I want it done.
Right.
But like for your own mind's like state, you do eventually have to learn how to do that.
Yeah, no, and I do. I mean, it's just like hard with like 4 restaurants.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
It's,
And
like,
like
a
you're
lot.
saying, like they're all different places. They're not
Yeah.
like the same concept at
Yeah.
every place. All right, well, let's get into question number 4. My favorite question. What is the best advice you have to give to anybody that is a listener, customer, to make them a better customer?
I think that the biggest thing about being a better customer,
Specifically, Patrick.
how
I'm a
could you
great
make him
customer.
better?
I'm just
Yeah.
joking.
No, Pat's like one of our
He's the best
customers, actually.
Yeah. I'm hilarious. I spend way too much money. Nothing else matters. I'm the ultimate customer.
That's true.
I think the biggest thing is like just to be kind, right? Because as a server, you can't control the kitchen. You can't control how fast they're going to make your spicy margarita when there's 10 other tickets. Like you just have to be understanding. And I think that's why like bartenders and servers are the best customers because they
Yeah.
understand what it's like.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just have to like be understanding when we have 180 seats and 169 of them are full, you have to understand that your fucking caprese bites are going to take 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Instead of taking the 2 minutes it would take when you're there on a Monday morning.
Right.
It's just like you have to understand that a lot of the things are out of the service out of the service control,
Right.
right? Or out of the bartender's control, whatever the
Mhm.
case may be. That's
Yeah.
like the biggest thing. It's just like be kind and like
Right.
understand that we're all trying to make your experience the best. And if you're a dickhead to me, then I'm gonna be a dickhead to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And sorry, but your 15% tip isn't getting me back here real quick to make sure you have another drink. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like we talked about this before. It's just like empathy is one thing. Like working in this industry, you'll learn.
Right.
Just like to see something through someone else's point of view, or just because you'll interact with so many people from so many different lifestyles and backgrounds. Like you're dealing with people that are immigrants and stuff like that. People that are old, young, black, white, all this and everything. You get to see so many different perspectives of life.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when people sit down in their fucking little booth and get their little wrapped up, silverware in front of them, they think they're fucking king of the castle.
Right.
And it's, you're not like we want you to feel like that, but at the same time, like you don't get to like act like that.
You got to pay
Yeah.
about 2 times what you're paying for your meal for
Yeah.
that to happen. If you want
Yeah.
somebody who's
Like I want you to
just
feel like
your
you're the king of
server.
the castle.
Yeah, as best as I can.
Yeah.
But there's logistics involved, right?
Right.
I mean, it doesn't always. Yeah.
A cook calls out or a bartender calls out or like
Right.
whatever the case may be. It's like
I
people,
waited 9 minutes for my drink. Well, yeah, you did, but you didn't order it right when I greeted you because you wanted some more time. So I gave you some more time. Could you get,
Right.
like it's.
Yeah, we got a 1-star review over the weekend because her drinks took 9 minutes. Well, you ordered an old fashioned and a spicy margarita.
Right.
which we have to both make from scratch,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Then the server has to go to the bartender, grab it, and bring it to the table. Then she's mad that her crazy bread took 12 minutes. Well, crazy bread is like a fucking pizza, right?
It has
So
to be baked.
It has to be baked. Do you want raw dough?
Yeah.
Well, it's just one of those things, like you said before. Like,
Yeah, Little
if you,
Caesar's
if
crazy
you
bread
cook
was
it at
already
home,
baked.
if you cook
That's
it at
why.
home, it's gonna take 40 minutes.
Right.
Right.
So when I'm sorry, like, and when we're 500 deep and your food took 40 minutes,
Yeah.
like you weren't gonna go to the store, get the burger, like in
Yeah.
40 minutes. Like, it's not
Right.
how
Like
it
you
is.
go out with the understanding that this is a restaurant and there's a process.
Yeah.
If you are in the restaurant and you see 100 other people, you have to assume 100 other people ordered before you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's my favorite thing. Is like when people freak out. I'm like, look around.
Yeah.
Like, look
Yeah.
around. dude.
Or they'll be like,
Yeah,
I know
while
you're
this place is
busy.
busy, where's my food?
Right.
Right.
I got a complaint one time when I was working at a different restaurant than I work now. They were so angry that the table next to them got their food first. And I was like, yeah, but the table next to you just ordered a pizza and you ordered soup and salad before your appetizer and then entree. So you got food right about when they did,
Right.
but you wanted it to be coursed out. And
Right.
so I
Yeah.
did that because that's my fucking job.
Yeah.
I
Well-
talked to the manager. Oh, it was a huge thing.
And that's like the hard thing.
I was also kind of a
too.
dick, so that didn't help. But
I was gonna say, come
Well,
on.
that's the hard thing too.
Yeah, that
Is
was
like,
a dark,
Give us
yeah.
a real insight.
yeah, like a pizza will cook faster, and our pizza ovens at least. A thin crust pizza cooks in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're ordering steak tacos and a burger and a
Takes more
salad
time,
and
yeah.
all of this, like that's a different part of the kitchen. Like you
Right.
can't. You have to be understanding of that.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I mean, when you see somebody next to you getting their entree, but they said after you, I don't know. It just to me, it's like, well, duh. Yeah, I wanted
Yeah.
it to be several different. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right,
People don't think
Well-
that way though.
let's wrap that up. That is the end of the 1,
2,
3,
4
questions.
part of this podcast, and that leads us to the last part. Jen, thank you again for coming on with us, and please tell us what is the craziest shit you've ever seen, you've been, exposed to in this industry.
Ugh.
crazy stuff.
I think. I think probably the craziest thing is like when I worked at Downing's and the sink fell off the wall in the men's bathroom. And
Just gone or like on the floor there.
no, like on the floor, like
Okay.
still attached to plumbing.
So nobody stole it. That's good at least.
No one stole it. But people were like literally like washing their hands on the floor. That was like very weird.
Out of the
Wait.
sink.
Yeah,
So the
How did it fall-
plumbing was still hooked up,
the plumbing was.
but the
still hooked up.
porcelain or
Yeah.
the ceramic
fell off.
broke.
It just like fell off.
And so people were like,
Why did
well,
it
this is
fall
a
off?
weird sink, but I'll use it, I guess.
Yeah, it was
First time for everything.
Like some dude would take a piss and then just walk over to this. It was on the floor,
Yeah, it was on the floor.
and they would just start washing their hands.
For how long? Was this
Were people-
one shift?
Like people
No,
were
it
actually
was-
washing their hands. They just
No,
were just
month.
like
I'm guessing a month.
No, it was a long
Down.
time.
It was just
Yeah.
left there?
Wait, they just left there.
Yeah, they just left it there.
Yeah, obviously.
For a long time.
We might have to trim some of this because
I don't know if we can-
they left the sink on the floor?
Yeah, for a long time.
and expected people to use it.
Yeah.
Or
I feel like
not
I went
use
to
it
Downing's for
'cause it's a
5
dive
years and there was
bar,
no
and
fucking door.
how many
in the
guys wash
bathroom.
their hands every single time, right?
Yeah.
I do because I'm better than you guys. But
Honestly, one of the
I mean, a
places
lot of
I-
people, I'm sure,
That's one of the
don't.
places I wouldn't wash my hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
Probably.
There's probably just a tube from the
Yeah.
urinal right to the sink.
I know I washed my balls today.
Yeah.
Did you wash this sink
Yeah.
today? Like it's a
Horrific.
legit question.
Okay, so maybe we should not share. Should we
Boy
not
say
share that
salut used to
story?
do that.
We might edit some of that one out. You got something else you want?
Yeah, that
Come
was
ahead.
good enough.
That's pretty funny.
It is really funny.
How about we wait until they listen this deep into the podcast and hear it and complain to us before we
Then
edit
we'll
anything out?
remove it, yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
fine.
guys didn't serve food, did you?
Yeah, we did.
Right
But
out
there
of the
was a-
floor sink.
No, there's a different bathroom. There's an employee bathroom.
Oh, thank God.
It's actually $2 cheaper if you get the chili out of the floor sink. We'll just pour it right into there. No utensils though. You got to
Maybe
eat
I
it like
should
a
tell
hog.
All right. So, Jen, what's the craziest story you've ever
No, that story's good, but tell us another one.
So I have this.
The phrasing. I thought it was great.
pretty good?
No, she can still.
If you
tell
got another one, let's go. Yeah.
Better than a ceiling sink. You know, you have to.
Hey, she's
The
suggested
logistics.
I'm like, we're
No,
right
there's.
with another one.
Do you
It
ever
could be
see the
just as
vent in
funny.
the men's room at Downing's? And it's like 74 screws in it.
No.
No.
Next time you go to Downing's, you go to the men's bathroom. There's like 74 screws like in a vent and the ceiling because they used to pass drugs and like exchange drugs through this vent. And Ed got really sick of it, so he just like screwed the vent in really.
I have
good.
to ask a
Wait.
question.
Okay.
So, wait.
I like this story.
I'm assuming there wasn't a guy living in the HVAC, right?
Yeah,
So what was
correct.
it passed through? What do you mean?
No, they would like pull the vent out and then like put the drugs
Oh,
in.
somebody would drop it. Somebody would pick it
Yes.
up. Okay.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a vent man.
That's what I was like thinking. Like,
Dude.
someone just like,
Yeah. He's just
You
in there.
have to be so dumb to be like, I left $400 with a blow in the vent at Downing's.
we definitely have to cut that name out of it.
How you doing, vent man? Oh, I hate the summer. I really
You're
do.
gonna have a lot of bleeping to do on this.
It's okay. It makes the story sound more exciting than like beep 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 beep
Some
beep.
dude in the bag with a fishing pole. Just,
What's up, vet man? Actually, I have a doctor's appointment, but I'm lodged. Can't get out. Thank God you're here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
It's like someone trying to take a shit on the sink. What happened to the sink? We need to get back
Yeah,
to
what
our-
happened?
you know what
I
was
think it
happening
happened
on the
twice.
sink.
It
Someone
was just
fucking?
on the
Yeah.
Someone was fucking on
It
the
was
sink.
banging. It was
Do
people
you
in.
think? I don't know.
Why else would
If
I
you
don't know.
follow a guy into the Downing's bathroom, you're trash.
That's-
Brendan
wrong.
agrees.
What a
He
proclaimment.
knows what's up.
Proclaimment a
No,
word?
no, we got- allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, but seriously. You're at Downing's and some guy's like, you want to do it in this bathroom at Downing's? And you're like, yeah, I mean.
We definitely have to like bleep all the like, all the names. Just gotta be like,
It's like, yeah,
They
dude.
know,
There's drugs
though.
that fall from the ceiling there
These
all the
girls
time.
know.
Why would we fuck anywhere else?
Yeah. Besides,
It's perfect. It's like Candyland for shitty adults.
oh my god.
Oh,
boy.
God.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel like you have the story that everyone needs to hear and you're in the service industry, hit us up at the 4shotspodcast@gmail.com. That's number 4, SHOTS podcast @gmail.com. Hit us up on YouTube, Instagram. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing we are on. We just
MySpace?
are we on MySpace still?
No.
All right.
I'm
anyone
making
on
a Zanga
MySpace
for
still?
us, so give me a second.
A zing. What did you say about zing?
Are you too old for Zanga?
No, I know what zing is. What'd
Yeah,
you say?
yeah. I was just fucking around, man.
Okay.
Trying to ruin the momentum. You're doing good. I fucked it up.
what the hell?
I don't even know where I'm at.
I'm a douche.
All right. Pretty much what? Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Hit us up. Please like, share, subscribe, rate if you're on Spotify. Do all that stupid shit that everyone asks you to do. And coming soon, 4 Shots Podcast, shot glasses.
Yeah, posters.
4 shots glass.
Fun
4 Shots
fun
Glass.
stuff.
Fun stuff. if you're looking for fun stuff, just come over.
We might just get our own
Fun
adult
stuff.
diapers and
As-
brand those if this
as
company doesn't
defined by
sponsor us.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think we could actually make diapers with like our logo on them and like some people that are going to the Bears games, like you
I
don't want to
think
miss
we
the moment of
could.
this, like
I think the hard part would be getting people to wear them.
Derek Bentley's playing a 4-hour set wear this fucking adult diaper.
No, sure, adult diapers. You just go to their website and they already have like custom logo service built in. We just upload our logo and we're ready.
Oh, my
That'd be
God.
so good.
Or if you just really hate someplace and you want to put their logo on it, and that way you can shit in it. Like,
That's
you
true.
can make that as well, I think. Jen, thanks again for coming on with us. Like I said, fucking Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, hit us up, like us, rate us, all that good shit. Come hang out over here at Charlie's Bar. Jen, thank you very much. Go hang out where Jen works. Give a shout out if you want.
Oh, to all of them.
If you
Yeah,
like. If you
do
like.
it. Do it.
If you feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah, for sure. So Duffers Pub, Lake Forest, Puck's Pub, Lake Bluff, Donati's Pizza, Lake Bluff, and Lake Bluff Brewing.
Nice.
All those places.
Anywhere else? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Well, and I guess that's it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of the 1,
2,
3.
Four Shots Podcast.
Dude.
Gotta do math.
No. We did
A lot.
36 shots of Jameson.